here. Hence I fly my Australian flag proudly every single time. Don't. I live in.
You're a fake Australian.
What?
Actually, that's not true. Every time I hear you say Dota, it gets back to me.
You know what? See, Australians actually disagree with me, saying that like I say Dota incorrectly.
Oh.
But honestly, I don't hear the difference.
You were talking about Liquid this morning. I was like, there's no R in Fada. But that's a story for another day.
I've broken that one.
What about Fada?
Well, Fader is what I always used to call him.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, man, it's Fada.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you said it without an R. That's amazing.
Did I?
You can actually try. Wow. Okay. Get on with this banning phase. Empire, they banned Wisp almost every single one of their games. No surprise at all versus the original Gangsters. And Beastmaster, I think he's going to be the most banned hero of the tournament. No use in rehashing why he should be. A lot of Vision. OG, actually, they banned both Vision heroes. There's only two main ones. I'd say the third one is Slark, which I think is actually pretty important and crucial because he's one of the few good heroes with night vision.
What a surprise as well. This is something I was grilling Mad about this earlier today at breakfast, and I asked him, I was like, okay, so tell me about like how would you face Empire? He's like, okay, well there's basically 3 core heroes that Empire will always want to play. One of them is Beastmaster. They will take this at all times. The other 2 is either Phoenix or Earth Spirit. They always will draft one of these 2 heroes in the first phase because you're never going to ban out both. And it looks like OG will actually take the Earth Spirit themselves here in the second.
Excellent.
Homework.
Homework for them.
How does OG combo this? Because like, okay, let's actually just talk about Phoenix for a bit. This hero has seemed to be like it just destroys every single game. Like Sunray seems to be doing so much. Repositioning support hero seems to do so much as well. How do you deal with Phoenix, both in lane phase as well as team fight?
So we all know the strengths of Phoenix, which is Sunray plus a little bit of team fight with Supernova, but his weakness, which you really need to capitalize on, firstly, he's really bad at getting levels early. He's also really bad at zoning support. Sunray level 1 is okay, but I think now that the cooldown's pretty long, like a lot of people can actually like go onto him without fear of recourse, because he's like, if you get him low and then he turns around and sunrays you, you just get owned. So you have like a bigger window to actually deal with them, but mostly you have to keep him low level as soon as possible. But then again, even with the most recent patch, we have the Tome of Experience, which kind of makes life a little bit easier for Phoenix players. So that's kind of why I think he's been #1, because Sunray is still really strong. The damage didn't get nerfed at all, but mostly it's like Tome of Experience just makes a lot more supports viable.
Yeah. So Phoenix can just do his thing. Darkseer as well combining, so it will actually be a support Phoenix, so not a big surprise at all. But this is kind of like what we were expecting from Team Empire, right? Like more movement towards team fight.
Yes, I would not say they're a safe team when it comes to having multiple cores. It's like, are they really going to outscale us? Let's pick more late game. They're more the type of team that's like, okay, well, they picked greedy cores. Let's just team fight, force them to fight. If not, they'll lose all their towers. We might not be able to close out the game, but we will crush them in the mid game.
I still want to see Scandal's hero. Like, out of all the heroes I'm actually wondering about, I want to see how their tempo controller Scandal goes. And then the space then gets created elsewhere. And
Puck's always good for Scandal. I'm always down for Puck with Scandal. I like Puck plus Phoenix, Puck plus Darkseer, I think is really good. It's very good versus the Rubbing Earth Spirit, and it's very elusive versus the Lifestealer. All pretty good traits for Scandal's hero.
Do you get worried with the early Earth Spirit rotations? Like, I know he won't be able to have his silence very early on when you gain.
He's one of the best heroes versus the Earth Spirit rotations, I would say. It also takes it away from OG. I don't think they run Puck too often just because Miracle's hero pool is very large, and by that nature, they don't pick him the same hero very often.
Interesting. I'm wondering why OG banned out the VS. Like, Batrider was the first thing that came to my mind, also because Scandal plays a very mean Batrider in mid. But then they ban out like 2 of Scandal's favorite heroes, like the Invoker and the Batrider, both taken out by Afterlife himself.
It's also really good at dealing with Lifestealer, I would say. And just the minus armor is amazingly good, and it makes a little bit more sense now. Death Prophet, one of her biggest struggles is just being slightly out of position. You just get punished super hard. The two heroes that can get you out of position, the Batrider as well as the Vengeful Spirit. That's where she kind of suffers the most. Some people like to pair the Vengeful Spirit with the Death Prophet, so you can kind of save her in that aspect. But it's a nice touch from OG.
Gives them the stability I was looking for. It's stable lanes, a little bit of early fighting if you get ganked up.
More importantly, though, they have team fight.
Yeah.
I think that you need to have a lot of team fight versus Empire's lineup. When you lead off with Phoenix Darks here, you know they're going to be coming at you with 4 or 5 with an early mech.
Yeah. I still want to see something more to deal with the Phoenix than just like a raged up life.
They have 2 silences. You can't ignore that.
Oh, so you actually stopped the Phoenix from Novering in the first place?
Hmm?
So you think about like just stopping the Phoenix from Novering in the first place?
Or the Sunray. Like the silence AoE is very large from Death Prophet. The Geomagnetic Grip from Earth Spirit too can also cancel it, or even a Boulder Smash. All these are pretty good with dealing with the Phoenix. So I would say like Sunray's not the biggest of their problems right now.
I've heard a couple of teams talking about how to make this hero viable again. And when I hear Bulba saying this hero can't be viable again, currently, no matter how hard you try,
it doesn't really fit EG's playstyle though, because they're out late game. They generally just out late game people with their better decision making. I think for teams that are much crisper at fighting early and honestly just better than OG or EG right now, which there are a lot of teams, I think they can make Clockwerk work. We've seen DC use it fairly often, and a lot of teams have been turning to the Clockwerk, albeit he is far more risky than other ones because he's a poor Iron Talon carrier.
Yep. We'll see if Moon can make it work. He'll be taking that thing to the off lane. So we get a safe lane Lifestealer, mid lane Death Prophet, and then the Earth Spirit plus 1 more support to come. Not a lot of disables on OG's lineup. Then again, Empire, like, they've actually got a decent amount of control, and they've got a Lion, so they're fine. They can't tick most of their boxes for control as well. But an Anti-Mage pickup.
I actually think their teamfight might be a little bit lacking right now.
Team Empire?
Yep. With the Anti-Mage pick, you're worried about Death Prophet pushing down all your T1s and T2s prior to 20, and then Anti-Mage is also not particularly good at dealing with the Ancient Infested Lifestealer, the Radiance. Like, his team is just going to be really, like, they're all going to have to run away. I've seen, like, Slarks with Scotty, like, Juggernauts. These heroes are really good at dealing with the Ancient Lifestealer, but Anti-Mage is not. Well, that is a nice round out for the high ground defense and the 5-on-5, and making sure Anti-Mage will always be relevant past 15.
Yep. This actually almost okay. This actually almost feels more like one of the classic 4 Protect 1 strats. You get a lot of good teamfight rotations early on from like Magnus, Lion, combinations with Darkseer, and you just keep letting the Anti-Mage farm across the map. And OG don't really have anything great to stop it. Like, Disruptor was the final ban out from Empire, probably worried about what happens when OG tries to do something about the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, the Keeper's underrated, though. We've seen Fly play a lot of, like, Dazzle and Undying, which is a little bit more early game than the Keeper Light, but the Keeper Light is usually not going to be playing, like, defensively in this. Like, a lot of times he's just there to make sure the lanes aren't pushing the tower. You just illuminate whatever you push out the wave. But I think in this scenario, he's actually going to be in a much different role, which is making sure the people don't die during the big ultimates. Making sure that he gets a Scepter up very early. They already banned 2 of the Vision heroes, Beastmaster, Night Stalker, so they make sure they had the Vision superiority. I actually think that they kind of had this whole draft premeditated from ban number 2. As soon as I saw them ban Beastmaster and Night Stalker, okay, they clearly want a Vision advantage. No one really picks Keeper anymore, but he is one of the only heroes that has unobstructed Vision. And on top of that, if he can actually land an Illuminate to heal during a Darkseer combo or a Magnus combo, they can just straight win the game right there. If they can outlast 1 round of ultimates at a very key moment, they win with Death Prophet push.
You're starting to make me worry about what I was really worried about Team Empire. That one team fight that goes horribly, horribly wrong, and OG's drafted well for it. So out to the lanes, let's get ourselves a little bit of a bearing. as we do kick off. So we'll go through Team Empire to start with because their lanes are a little bit more standard here. We're going to have AFTERLIFE headed towards the top lane as the Darkseer. Into the mid is currently support Miposhka. Obviously, he won't remain there. Scandal will be the man moving there as the Magnus. That puts Ramzes into that safe lane number 1 position as the Anti-Mage, and kingR, he'll be the Lion. Going up against the off lane of OG, which currently has 3 heroes down here. With Moon's Clockwerk, he will be the core in this off lane with Flying Crit, the 2 supports for OG, as the Keeper of the Light and Earth Spirit putting our mid No-Tail, who is wearing a very fashionable outfit this evening. And up towards the top lane, it'll be Miracle's Lifestealer. A lot of regeneration on him. It looks like they're going to give him a lot of space up on that top lane alone. Does that mean we look for Flying Crit's movements? Like, where's their rotation? Where's their presence meant to be?
It depends on if they can get this D ward on bottom first. That is one of the most important things to do if you want to actually pressure the offlaner. Make sure they don't know where your 2 supports are. They should always be scared of 2 supports, whether or not they are showing on the map. And I saw them ping it out early. They might have gotten an early vision with their observer ward of their own that blocks his pool camp.
Are we going to brawl? I think we're about to brawl. Miposhka dives himself through. Crit goes for the boulder, misses everything. They go for the siphon over on Scandal. It comes a full Illuminate with the skewer back. He might be able to get away to safety, especially when kingR hits a double stun. Scandal's back up the hill. Ramsey forced go for Blink early on. Escaping out as well, so they brawl for the runes. Who actually got them? It was the Magnus and the Lifestealer who ended up taking them. Everyone will now settle themselves into the lanes.
That was pretty close. With a hit boulder, that would have been a kill. And I'm actually surprised that that boulder did not hit. Still, nice play all around from both teams.
Unfortunately, that D-ward you're looking for on bottom lane went the other way. Fly just managed to D-ward the Observer ward.
Oh, that's what they need. That's what OG need to do if they want to pressure the AM. That's super important because you always want to be scared of like the Keeper like can't get his blast off if they have vision of him. And right now he's in the trees. Bam, 2 heroes, 200 damage to illuminate. He has 2 clarities to keep the pressure rolling, and Moon is going to have a fantastic time in this lane.
I always have massive flashbacks to the way IG used to run their tri-lanes with the Keeper of the Light, where they ran like Wind Ranger and Earthshaker together, and always that continuous spam on the core, making life so difficult.
Afterlife
speaking of difficult, AFTERLIFE copping a lot of damage. He's put down double Iron Shell, so Miracle as well as Crit can't make an easy job of this, and just plays perfectly around him. But on bottom lane, Fly, damage from kingR. Okay, no, there's no follow-up. Ramses is too busy looking at his wounds back between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower farming.
This is not a situation that you want to be in as an anti-mage. You don't really want to have to fare yourself out regen this early, especially when it's close to the bottle timing of the mid laner, and he is almost dead. So I'm pretty sure he would have liked to have a salve this early, but not that many people expect this sort of lane coming out. Nice shockwave coming out to help out OG a little bit there.
And this is the kind of game where you get really, really concerned.
Who are you concerned for, Toby?
What?
Who are you concerned for?
Myself missing first blood in the first game of the Major. To put it pretty simply. Because you just never know where the rotations can come from. Fly's keeping everyone, like Ramsey's so low on this bottom lane, I don't know how far he goes out. But you don't have any cogs over on the Clockwerk. Moon's just gone for Battery Assault as well as Rocket.
Just follow Earth
continuous
Spirit.
range spam.
Earth Spirit should be the main one.
Yeah. But then who's he go on? Like, he goes on Scandal. Scandal's actually short of mana at the moment, so he can't skewer out.
He does have a siphon. He has 2 siphons.
But they need Crit to hit the boulder.
He has a ward. He's sitting
They
pretty
don't,
much
they
on
don't
top
see
of
up the
ward.
hill. Now they do. Like, No-Tail actually had to back up on top of the hill to get that vision, so they can boulder forward. The Spirit siphons, will it be enough? Scandal's dropping low, skewers away the attacks, it reaches him! And that'll be first blood going the way of OG. Scandal almost escaping by the skin of his teeth, but almost is not enough.
I'm very surprised that he died there, considering there was an observer ward. Just watching the Earth Spirit facing that lane. I think he was really greedy and perhaps maybe should have waited for his full skewer mana. I think he was just shy when he went up to that lane. But bottom lane, OG are getting quite a lot. Being able to stack up that camp is going to be very useful for Fly trying to keep back up in levels.
Ramses is still getting a lot of CS himself. Hello top lane. Miracle is low. Looks like AFTERLIFE is... Okay, they're still causing issues here on the lane. But double Iron Shells, it's so difficult for them to stand there. So maybe that's something else we should look for from Empire. So okay, Ramses getting some decent money. The Darkseer is doing pretty well up on this top lane. Is this enough for Empire to be happy with their early game, even with first blood lost?
I think happy for them is not really the term that we should be looking for, because I think they'd be happy with, obviously if they're ahead they'd be happy. If they're even, I think they'd be happy too, and slightly behind they should be happy. But I think, is it what they expected? I would say this is about what they expected. I think the most important part is that Seer hasn't yet died. Magnus versus DP is not going to be a great lane, and unfortunately Scandal did take a spill and give up first blood, but that's going to happen at some point for them. So I think it's probably slightly better than expected, I would say. The only problem is Ramzes is unable to really free farm, but he does have his Ring of Health.
I kind of feel like this will probably change as well once... Actually, is it even really that bad? Because like I was thinking like this top lane, with the Darkseer not dying, Ramzes continues to take so much damage, but like he's just battering down the hatches, and Afterlife keeps keeping crit on that top lane, or when crit comes to the mid lane, like yes, the gank was successful the first time around, but Scandal now backs up and they just waste time of crit. This time he's making the most of that Observer Ward, even if it's only got 26 seconds left.
Well, something cool that they're doing in the bottom lane, because Ramzes is out of region and unable to access a chicken, they're just simply using Sunray from Miposhka to heal him up, and you know, pretty much sacrificing a lot of his time to beef up the Anti-Mage, which is also not that bad. I think the Empire's teamfight is like way better.
Skewer, kingR, tried to go for a combination there with a stun. Not going to happen perfectly, but crit came too far underneath the tower. He's definitely going to go down, and NoTal tries to act more as an intimidation factor to keep Empire off him, but that's going to be an unsuccessful gank from crit, giving a kill over towards the Empire mid.
Remember when Magnus was like first pick every game? I remember Scandal's Magnus being one of the better ones, and most of the like top tier Magnuses can hit RPs when given the chance, but I think the ones that are really, really good, S4, Scandal, etc., they can hit the difficult skewers in lane, and that is, you know, what's kind of gotten him through this early game and made up for his first kill. Well, crit does drop an Observer Ward. It was in full vision of Empire's own Observer Ward.
They're forcing a rotation right now on bottom lane. It's NoTal coming over. They want to get Ramzes to blink, or you just use the silence. So say goodbye to the Anti-Mage. He'll go down.
Nice skill build coming out from NoTal. You don't see this very often, the 2-1-2. A lot of people just play very greedily and max soul Spirit Siphon by level 7, but the one level of silence going to be amazing versus the Phoenix, amazing versus Darkseer, pretty much good versus their entire team.
It actually makes it so easy as well for OG to push. The fact that NoTal's rotation timing, he's got his exorcism up and running. Moon and Fly have gone for this also creep clearance. Like with that stack they have on the side, they've been using just Rocket and Illuminate to farm that up. So that's where they're getting their bonus levels on these heroes, which means that hookshot, like I thought it was going to be heavily delayed from Moon, like his ultimate, just because they had so many heroes on that bottom lane, but he's still looking at a half-decent timing.
So when's it time for Empire to actually make their move? Generally it's around 10 minutes, just because that's when you get the tome, and it'll help like Lion get his finger, the Supernova, that's generally where and when you want to fight, but they're having a lot of troubles finding levels. I don't even think a tome will boost them to level 6. They, as you mentioned already, OG have very good control of the Radiant jungle, and these heroes are just not good at right-clicking neutrals. Well, they're trying to make up some levels by smoking. kingR and Miposhka headed towards the mid.
Oh, see if they can find a kill, but
he has haste. There's no way they go on no-till. I don't think they can get that kill. Maybe with a Hex? That's really difficult.
You'd have to get it straight away. You'd actually almost require Scandal to skewer forward to get into an RP. But his top lane, Afterlife, going to be initiated on, just starts his TP out. Unfortunately, there's still kicks available, surging himself out, 44 HP. Needs to be one more hit, and in comes NoTal with the kill secure. The Rock was also on his way. The RP instantly committed to NoTal. He's going to go down underneath that tier 1 tower. So Empire will trade their off laner for the mid laner of OG.
There was some error in clicking on NoTal's part. He kind of just ran around in a circle. He might have just clicked in a weird place. I think he might have been clicking like towards the river and hit that cliff or something like that, but I do not think that's what he intended to do at all, and ended up just getting RP'd. He should have easily been able to escape with the haste rune. Not that big a deal, because it's not like that would have really transitioned into a tower push for them. There's no Faceless on the Lifestealer, no exorcism up on the Death Prophet, at least at that moment. But it's still a death that you don't want to give away.
Well, with it, actually, buys a little bit more time as well for Empire. I don't want to say they're playing catch up, but I'm watching these net worths, overall net worths, just no.
Oh, this is something different. We have the... It's not too different, but it's the Anti-Mage with the Vanguard. So they're hoping that he can actually frontline much earlier, and he can be involved early. Scandal getting destroyed in the mid.
Yeah, try and run this one off. More Spirit Siphons, he'll skewer himself away. He had Afterlife behind in case he needed to surge him. They decided to hover off it, and kingR also smoked up. Potentially able to loop around it again. N0tail getting aggressive when his exorcism is coming off cooldown.
So the Anti-Mage can actually frontline. Not all, like when you go Vanguard, you don't have that much damage, but they have the Ion Shield this time for the damage and the Empower, so he can be a threat much before any plus damage items from Battle Fury.
They're waiting for Moon. kingR body blocks up nicely. The Sun Ray's going to turn off. Moon can't get himself outside the cogs. The skill, however, from Scandal will take him out. Moon hexed up. They really want to kill off this Clockwerk, but he's just so damn tanky. They'll back up past the tier 1 tower, and there's nothing much really to give from Team Empire.
Really need level 6 to get some damage. Like they had 4 heroes trying to commit to a Clockwerk with not that much strength, plus 9 strength from his items.
You almost see my Finger of Death fly. He may have actually given him a freebie here. Tries to run it off with the shockwave. Yep, there it is. It will be in fact a freebie. He was going for the D ward on the obs. Kind of funny because now this is probably going to bring in a D ward from Empire in return, which removes OG's Observer ward.
Armlet ready from Lifestealer. I like the early Blightstone pickup. Majority of Lifestealer's damage is physical and it helps them push. A little bit different than the Ring of Basilius, but easier to convert if you want to push towers down very early, and you have the Exorcism to aid in the physical damage output department.
So let's get to a quick check while we get ourselves a small downtime here. Chat, let me know how the stream is going. Both audio, actually primarily audio. Tell me if it actually sounds.
Let him know how bad his camera work is. How many kills that he's missed.
My camera work's been. I actually tried.
How many runes we haven't seen. How many smokes that. I'm just kidding.
I've seen everything, Mertlini. Literally have the eye.
I like getting you angry.
You trigger me, bro. kingR, this time, he's going to gank with that Finger of Death. They want N0tail, but Moon's going to hook shot himself forward. Scandal can't get the RP off. He gets silenced up by N0tail. Now he's going to skewer himself away. She's dragging Moon with him and his dead corpse, but this will not stop N0tail. Keeps the pressure up. Spirit siphoning around. He'll be able to survive this, but now Ramses comes into the fight. Mana Void on level 1 to Babble. The damage is almost enough to kill off N0tail. They'll try and moon him up, earn him up by Moon. The cogs are also available up in 1 second time, so Moon can create some space, allowing OG to retreat away from this fight, but maybe not. Ramses jumping in deeper. He doesn't really have that much more to fight, but because of the Vanguard, he's stronger, so he can continue to stand here on the front lines. And with the Battery Assault, not easy to hit him off, but with that Iron Shot on him, he still finds that extra damage. Pushed away, and I think finally Ramses is going to say, enough is enough. We'll accept the fact that the Magnus died.
Nice push by Miracle in the meantime, taking down that T1 tower while this brawl was going down in the mid lane. And I was going to say, N0tail's been pretty key on his silences right before the RP with the Arcane Rune, which would have secured Magnus maybe like 1,500 gold total, rather, as opposed to his 700 gold right now. And they really need that Blink Dagger. They're just lacking so many of their tools. Their first finger didn't yield a kill. Phoenix still not level 6 yet. Yep. There is no Blink on the Magnus. And Anti-Mage, the Ion Shell came a little bit late on him. He wasn't able to get the damage output that he needed. But so many early games item coming out for OG. You see all these small items on Clockwerk. You know, the small strength helps them keep alive for that 4-on-1 engagement. That little bit of strength and the drums coming out from Death Prophet to help her from the Mana Void and Finger. And here we go, our first and best bomb.
This is going to be interesting. Fly's going to engage on bottom lane. Blinding Light's going to push him away. Ramses just wants to stay close to it. Mana League makes it a little bit more difficult. Now Moon, hookshot's in, catching out kingR. And with a surprise Infest inside of Crypt, the follow-up kick. Ramses gets hit. kingR will still go down here. Moon's Battery Assault will ensure that, not to mention the basic attack. But Ramses will survive, and that was a 4-man smoke maneuver from OG, including Infest committal.
They're not getting that much from the Exorcism, though. That was a hasted Exorcism Death Prophet, and that one death may have set her back more than I thought. However, they do have Recall, one of the most underrated abilities from Keeper of the Light. And he actually has a pretty penny, even though he died in that mid lane. Fly sitting at 1,700 gold. One of the most farm supports, the most farm support in this game, by a large margin. Nice play from Moon.
Create the space. Empire can't even rotate around because that Observer Ward this up. Like, they know if Empire's going to loop around.
Well, they don't have Ult Finger and they don't have Supernova.
Yep. Oh, Open Wound's going to go on kingR. Gets pushed away, and Afterlife starts running around in circles with both Surge as well as Forstaff. He's going to be the primary man to help Empire outmaneuver OG, but Empire just delaying the inevitable. Like, they know this tower's going to go down. They try and get Ramses farm. Scandal's getting some space up on top lane as well. And he needs it, because he needs that Blink Dagger. Like, it's still delayed. They still need to get this, and now you actually get a double damage rune as well. If OG feel inclined, they potentially could even just slip into Roshan.
It would take them a long time though without Exorcism, and I don't know if they want to commit Exorcism at this point. I guess it's pretty safe to do so. Let's see what Lifestealer goes for after the Echo Saber.
There's an Infest on crit, and okay, now they get rid of that Observer Ward, so okay, it's gonna be fine.
They know Miposhka's around there, but not exactly.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's a good indication. The stun rate kicks off, and that's one way to find him. Do you have Exorcism up now? Still 26 seconds away. But you've now actually got the Echo Saber plus that double damage rune on Miracle.
Yep, they passed him that one.
Yep.
That's nice. I think they can do it without the Exorcism because of this DD. That's pretty big for them.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, he's not using Rage on cooldown. I think they would just want to take this down ASAP. Maybe he's scared to take off the DD, but that was changed some time ago, where Magic Immunity does not take off double damage.
Well, there's that plenty of mana finally up.
Oh, he actually did commit ultimate.
Actually did burn Exorcism. I thought you'd hold on to that now, because then you could just push, right?
Well, they're clearly okay with the pace of the game at the moment. Anti-Mage, his farm's not out of control because he did go Vanguard. This is kind of, you know, I'm not that big of a fan of Vanguard, but I do see its merits, and sometimes it's just far riskier though. Like at that point in the game where he actually did come to fight, the Vanguard didn't really save him from dying. It's not like they were actually even trying to kill him at all.
Yeah.
And he needed just a little bit more damage, so let's say he did, even like Perseverance plus like a broadsword, maybe he would have been able to get that kill. But
is it still right to go into a Vlad's after you get the Vanguard? Like,
if you have Empower, yes.
Okay.
This, without Empower, I would almost certainly say Battle Fury is the right choice. But if you have Empower, you have a free Battle Fury.
Yeah. It just means that like Magnus has to kind of stick with him most of the time. Like it's not that simple. Like Anti-Mage can just do his own thing in that whole 4 Protect 1 thing we talked about during the drafting phase.
Yeah, it's just really slow. You notice it so much when you don't have Empower and you're farming the opposite side of the jungle. You're like, man, I wish I had Empower. Luckily for him, it lasts a pretty long time.
Here comes OG, running down the mid.
Yeah.
Towards the tier 2 tower.
They
the top
probably
lane's
wish
already
they had
taken out by
Exorcism.
AM.
They probably wish they had Exorcism.
Yeah.
But Keeper Light's making very good progress on the Scepter. That is what I think OG is really looking forward to. I don't think they'll get it before the 20-minute mark, which is when the next daytime cycle is going to end, but they should definitely have it by 24 minutes. And with that, with level 2, hopefully level 3 Exorcism, I think they can do some serious base damage to Empire. But do they actually really even want to push into Empire with this massive team fight lineup and the Blink already online for Magnus? You talked about how Empire was a team that usually they have a lead and then they generally like make one big mistake and then you see everything go downwards. But I think OG is actually in that position right now where they have the potential to lose the game off one bad push.
I agree. I'm actually wondering too, like with this trade-off, if this is actually what OG were also searching for. Like they're finally going to bring down this tier 2 tower, but Empire was doing a pretty damn good job of keeping OG out of it. Scandal, okay, Surge, you're not going to find much. Actually, he actually has a lot of vision. Thanks to that Observer Ward, they're still sitting on the mid lane. You can see most of what OG was planning. But the AM has already brought that top tier 2 tower down to half-life. Until the Lifestealer came in at that last moment, there was actually a half-decent trade there for Empire. There was space for Ramses to farm and damage inflicted to buildings.
So I think that OG are probably thinking ahead. So they don't want to push high ground. But if they don't want to push high ground, what's their other option? Their lineup is actually not that well suited for going to the late game. Their offlaner's a Clockwerk, doesn't scale that well. Their mid laner's Death Prophet, scales decently, but No Tail's not amazingly farmed by any means. So I think what they need to do and what they need to concentrate on is actually being able to kill the Anti-Mage when he's split pushing. And that requires a lot of mobility. I don't know who's actually going to be able to...
It's gotta be crit, right?
depends. I've seen some unique strategies, such as an Orchid coming out from Clockwerk. That's not that far-fetched. I've seen that used, but he's going to get that far too late to actually be effective versus the Anti-Mage because he'll have Orchid by then. Maybe like a Shadow Blade on someone, so they can actually scout him out. But actually, what I see here is the Blink on Crit. As you mentioned, he's going to be the key hero, I think, to actually deal with the Anti-Mage. And okay, you can silence him. If he mantas, then you stun him. You have enough damage to tell which one's a real one, and then you have another silence to follow up.
But that's only going to last for so long. Like, Ramses just finished up his Yasha. So he'll get the mantras. He said, like, you'll dispel the first silence. What if Ramses also gets to a point where he has a BKB?
You don't want to get BKB on Anti-Mage.
Is it going to make him, like, just too weak?
He already has a couple items that doesn't really help his farm speed that much. Firstly, no Battle Fury. Secondly, he had to go Vanguard, or he went Vanguard, rather. And if you go BKB, that's another 3 items that just kind of takes away from the hero a lot. If you wanted, like, a magic immune fighter, you would just pick Lifestealer, like OG did, or a Juggernaut, or something like that, who can fight a lot more, still benefit from the Empower and whatnot. But I think if you want to go BKB, you might as well not have picked Anti-Mage, so they're aiming more for split push, because their late game is better. I think their late game is a lot better, because, like, Wall is also pretty good going into the late game. Lion, his Hex never really falls off if he gets a Blink, the real caveat there. And kingR, you know, kind of, he has his off games, he has his amazing games, and this one seems to be somewhere in the middle, but his net worth is nowhere near the middle. Instead, he has a whopping 8 CS.
Huge.
Ramses.
Yeah, I mean, he'll actually TP out in time.
They were pretty close. If they had started the recall a little bit earlier, maybe they would have gotten a hook shot. I don't know if they had the angle, but
I'm actually looking more towards mid. Notel, there's your RP. They're going to turn on the Sunray with the double iron shells in the back. Notel will get his BKB off and then triggers the Invis rune, allowing him to escape out. And Moon, well, he wants to go in straight into the Nova from Phoenix. So Moon, well, he'll stay there with his Blade Mail turned on. The stun will not connect. They get the space. And then a quick Icarus dive away. Crit wants to go for more. Blink forward, gets to kick onto Afterlife. That stun not affecting Miracle. Not while the rage is up, but Afterlife surges away on 70 life, but the mana leak stops him from escaping out. So Lifestealer will be able to find the kill thanks to the stun coming in for the mana leak.
I think this is where the push starts. They can recall No-Till in, use his Exorcism. They don't have RP, they don't have Wall, they don't have Supernova. This is an amazing time for OG to push. The only thing that they don't have going for them is that it's nighttime, but that's not that big of a deal because 3 huge ultimates are on cooldown, and Anti-Mage still does not have his Manta style. He does not want to fight right now, but he might be forced to.
Problem is keeping that creep wave alive too. Oh, Notel.
Oh, you mean Sunray?
Yep. Yep. From range, Moon wanted to do some damage with the Blade Mail, but the Sunray wears off. And
I wonder if this is a counter to Sunray.
The Blade Mail?
No.
Oh, Ramses. Can he get out? No, he can't. He can't blink in time. Crit silences were absolutely on the mark, and that damage from the Lifestealer is so huge. So now there's no Anti-Mage, but your Exorcism runs out in about 5 seconds time in mid.
I think the counter that they're exploring right now is a keeper Ags. It's almost strictly better than Sunray, minus the fact that it doesn't do pure damage.
That was a ballsy attempt from Scandal.
Oh, if only it were daytime. OG would be so happy with this push. Now ultimates are coming off cooldown again. Darkseer's Wall of Replicas come off cooldown. Magnus's RP is up in 3, and OG know this. Yep. It's not their time.
But they back it out.
They got AM though.
Yeah. It slows him down, but he's still sitting at 9.1k net worth. And finish up the Mana Style recipe, so he's not too slowed up. And in fact, it looks like Empire, they want to go for more. Scandal's vision, however, there is nothing on the dark side of the map. So they're going in completely blind into this scenario. The rocket flying over from Moon might give an indication that he's over in the jungle, but they don't see anything else.
I actually do not like that smoke play from Empire. If they get a kill on anyone, they just recall with 24-minute daytime, and then they just... If they commit any ultimates, OG will just push 5 strong. I think the only kill that's probably worth it for them is Miracle, but it's extremely difficult to kill Miracle, and I think most of them had sensed it out, so they probably would have gotten a low priority kill, wasted a smoke, and potentially used an ultimate that would have cost them a T3 and a Rax. So for me, it was more desperation than anything. They were hoping to get... If they got 2 heroes, I think it'd be worth it, but with the way that it was set up, and with the way that OG were playing, it's more likely than not that they were going to get 1. And here we go. Infested crit has been smoked up. They have a reservoir ward in the mid lane. They want to get Scandal. Scandal is the big one because Ramses without Empower is not very strong, and RP is the one that sets everything up for them.
It's funny because I also want to keep my eyes up on top lane at the same time because they're prepping against Notal.
If Notal dies, he can just buy back and get recalled. He's actually getting recalled in right now.
Well,
but here we go.
Come. Ramses, what do you see? You don't see anything, in fact. They're all around him. In fact, the jump in is a double kick on Scandal and kingR with a follow-up hook shot from Moon. They're able to control him. Ramses will blink into the tree lines and TP out safely. But you lost your Magnus and you lie in very, very quickly. Crit. So
but they wasted the exorcism. It was way too premature. They don't actually have any creeps going in, and by the time the creeps get there, they're going to have like maybe 5 seconds left on the exorcism, and this may not be the game ending for them, but it still is not that great. Empire, they didn't blow any ultimates yet. Magnus coming up in 15.
Well, they're going to force the mid. Fortification's available for Empire, so yeah, this is not going to happen.
Imagine if they had exorcism right now. They would just pop it right now with the creeps coming in the bottom, and then they would get the tower down and then some. But now they have to...
Oh, now they're going to burn a BKB over on Notal. He's down to 8 seconds on that BKB.
Yeah, now they have to back off. Because their timing is just, it's hard to do. They need daytime and they need exorcism.
Surge is coming forward. Scandal's got Blink and RP. He just goes for the skewer. It's going to be over on Moon. The heck's not right on the target, but Moon, well, is there going to be enough damage? He backs up with his one charge. The Sunray still burning him down, and with the Mana Void, Ramses finds the kill. However, he loses his Magnus in the process.
And
OG still don't have any major ultis available.
So most of these plays from Empire, they're just so desperate. They're not in a good position to fight. As soon as they chase down the hill, OG can split up and fight on their own kind of high ground. They have the trees on the right side. Oh man, Miracle just does so much damage.
Yeah, Miposhka has not had a great game at all on that Phoenix. It even happened back when we were only like 5-6 minutes into the game. He was doing the same thing to Miposhka before. But Miracle's happy with this. Like, he's not taking any massive damage. Continuing to work through the racks, the bottom creep wave's in there. They don't have Lion as a major threat when he drops down low, thanks to the fact that Crit managed to get a solo kill him underneath that tier 3 tower. So they take the full mid racks without really having to commit that much.
Nope. They should be able to go for another one. Exorcism up in 20. Keeper can keep everyone alive by dropping a Scepter, shotgunning himself, and just using Illuminate. And at this point, OG very comfortable in the lead, and Magnus still have yet to hit that game-winning RP for Empire. And as more and more buildings fall, the chances seem slimmer and slimmer because now they can wrap in through mid. You can have like a infested Earth Spirit blink in through the mid lane while Clockwerk approaches from the bottom, and then the Death Prophet approaches head on. And the more spread out OG are, the less likely they're going to get hit by a huge vacuum wall and an RP combo.
Ramses getting mana leaked. Moon, well, he does have a target if he wants to have a crack at it. He decides against it. There was an observe ward from the dire side that saw Ramses' movement. OG won't be able to keep that kind of vision up for much longer, primarily because Afterlife has purchased a gem. So they're trying to get rid of OG's vision advantage, even if they are walking around with an Ag's Coddle.
Problem is no BKBs on Empire. If they get hit by a Silence, which is from Earth Spirit or from Death Prophet, and are very large AoE, then none of them can get out of it. Ideally, you want Greaves plus BKB on Magnus, so you don't have to worry about either of them. And then on Anti-Mage, he already has his Manta. That's great. Darkseer does not have a BKB either, and he has been initiated on a fair amount. It also helps for simple things like mana leak, like open wounds, which you have to deal with, but you don't want to blow a big cooldown. It's not like you want to BKB it off, but Guardian Greaves is kind of like that nice, oh, it's not that big of a cooldown, but I needed to get out of this debuff.
And Empire really need to scan out that ward for once. Now the gem finally comes close enough. They understand the ward is there. But if anyone goes to deward that, they die to the infested Earth Spirit combo.
So 20 seconds left of daytime with the Ion Shell pushing out the last creep in mid. It looks like they will not get another hit.
Their observer ward, actually, the Fly is now dewarding, gave them really good vision of OG.
It's a bold move from Empire, pushing into daytime. They probably want to wait until nighttime so they can actually maybe get the jump in. I don't know if they saw Ramses pop in mid. I think they saw him pop without the blink, which means everyone smoked.
Oh, OG. It just hits nighttime. They've lost their vision advantage. Even if they were having a positional advantage over Empire. It looks like Empire, again, another smoke which doesn't come to anything.
as much as I generally am a fan of BOTs, I actually don't think this is a good game for Prophet to get it. I think he wants to get it so he can like split push out the lanes and then get Keeper. Actually, I think
Just get recalled back in.
yeah. Big problem is he's not strong enough to actually deal with an anti-mage push. Like if she tries to push out a lane that anti-mage is pushing in, which is generally the lane that you are going to be pushing out, he can just blink on the Death Prophet and then she might have to BKB, she might like die to Mana Void, she might still die after the BKB if no one goes to help. So
who else is going to do the push right now? Because Lifestealer
ideally you want
comboing
Lifestealer
with...
to have the BOTs, I think, because he can kind of just destroy the anti-mage in a man fight if it gets to any point.
He just seems to take a different role though in this game, which is that gank with crit at all times.
Yep. But you're also scared of No-Tail dying.
There's
so.
your RP. No-Tail drags back, wait for that BKB. They force-stop him into the Earth Spike.
So
and No-Tail is easily picked.
This is also when you want like the, you want more HP as Death Prophet. A lot of them would turn a Vit Booster into eventual Octarine, maybe even the Vit Booster into an Atos, but you need to survive. Like look how easy it was for them to kill her. Maybe they wait for her respawn and then they can recall her, and then they don't have the RP up, but still, it's not good to just lose your Death Prophet. Did you see how easy that was?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good thing if you're OG. Not at all.
And this is just starting to buy more and more time for Ramses to almost, actually, for the first time in this game, have more net worth than Miracle does.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a hell of a lot, and I'm assuming he's just going to be looking into something like the Abyssal. Now they find another one. They found Miracle. Pick him up, throwing it back. They throw the Nova down too. Miracle's going to burn. So say goodbye to the Aegis to the Immortal. By the time he comes up, the Nova has already been expended. The Miracle's up and Moon. The hook shot. It actually caught Miposhka on the way back out. Afterlife pushed outside of the cogs. He'll have enough space now. In comes Ramses. Look for that Mana Void. Watch for the spills. Moose lost all of his mana. No-Tail going to BKB as well as X's him up. And well, there goes Afterlife. The Gem of True Sight lost into the hands of Crit. And a quick buyback comes out from Miposhka. They really want to keep that Sunray play on Miracle, keeping him away from the tower. No-Tail very far forward. The hook shot comes in. They find Ramses in close. He does have that BKB over on the Anti-Mage. He'll turn it on just to escape from the fight, while the rest of OG continue to take out that bottom racks. It's only the melee, however. The range will remain alive, and in fact, OG are going back home. Including the Lifestealer infested into the Clockwerk, but okay, so that's how they do it. They're going to recall him back in just to jump in. Miracle, come on back as Miracle, Finger of Death going to go on him. Hook shot forward from Moon. They catch out Scandal. There's no 4-star to get him out of this one for the moment. He tries to beat his way through the cogs, but he just can't do it fast enough. And Ramses doesn't know where he wants to fight from. Triggers off the Mana Star, starts to burn a little bit more mana. Can't do enough, but however, he does have that level 3 Mana Void, so he needs someone who's low, and Moon may just be that man. Mana Void through, the kicks coming in, Crit coming in close as well. They're all clumped up pretty close together, but then Crit. The silence is too good. Ramses has to remain there being magnetized. Now the silence will wear off. Jump forward. There's a quick kill over onto the Clockwerk, putting the gem back on the deck. So looks like OG will be stopping this.
Are you sure they're going to stop? It's almost daytime.
I'm fairly certain they're going to stop.
Lifestealer can come in and with a recall. I think they want to keep this train going.
Miposhka is
Team secrets turn to bed. Reserve time. Remaining. 5 seconds remaining. turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Invoker. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
Он решил набрать тех бойцов, которые будут играть. Battle begins.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
One's died yet. There's not been a first blood given up. Both teams playing safe. But if you look at the overall picture, you've got to say that Universe is finding a little bit more on his off-lane role. Envy the slight edge in CS. The mid lane. I mean, that's where it's kind of going the best for Na'Vi, and it's all going to be down to what Dendi can do with the lead that he got early on this Bat CS. As we can see, 29-12 against the 14-7. Back on the rune cams, anything going to be found that's nice? Top lane, double damage for Envy. Bond will be the bounty. No one's going to head down there for the time being. But I feel like at this moment, it's all eyes on Dendi really for Na'Vi.
Yeah, and I think the one downside of the dual lane setup with Na'Vi in the mid lane is that Dendi's very under-leveled. He's only currently level 5.5. It's beyond 6 minutes. This is normally where you'd see your mid at level 6 if they're doing well. So Dendi, yeah, free farming away, but hasn't got the XP. He has got stacks to fall back on, which are likely to happen soon. He can fall back, take the stacks, give the mid lane to the Phoenix. Looks like they attempted to go to kill Arteezy, but slightly fumbled it.
This is risky, because now Dendi, well, this looks like this could be your first blood. Secret, they're ready to capitalize on that. We talked about it early. You're unlikely to get that kill on the Invoker, so a little bit of the first mistake there from Na'Vi trying to make a go, and Secret, yeah, as talked about by the panel, they're the kind of team that's going to capitalize on these mistakes.
Yeah, that was a misdive. The flame break didn't quite push the Invoker in the direction he was hoping for. GeneRaL in top, considering going for a kill, but doesn't go for the leap in.
He needs to be careful as well, because Secret, as soon as they've done that kill on the mid, they head back towards the top. Envy's got an Omni if he needs to use it, and he's going to pop it. No point kind of messing around there. Another clean kill for Secret. And it's suddenly, you know, these two kills, the fact that the start, the laning was already going fairly well for this side. Now they're getting a bit of pressure onto the tier 2. It's the momentum that Secret were looking for.
It's just been very polished play from them. They've read Na'Vi's movements well, and this is something where you can see they've done their homework, whether it's 1437 or Puppey, like checking out the replays, knowing when Na'Vi are likely to go for that aggression and baiting them in. Arteezy's just there, knowing that he has the backup behind him. If they go on him, that plays into Secret's hand.
And we can see at the moment from the creep stack status, Dendi has started to clean up some of these camps, so he is going to get that timing on his items. It's, as we were saying, just all about what he's going to be able to do with it. And who he kind of looks for first. He's 1300 towards the blink.
Basically, you send the Void and the Batrider off different directions. Either of those heroes has great kill potential when they use their ultimate, but they need one of these cores with a Phoenix Sunray or with a Mirana Arrow.
They're going to make a go here with this fight. If they can close the gap with a good bounce or two, so that you get the last one, they get it. The flame break back, bringing Artur into the reaches of Dendi, and it's a clean pick off for Na'Vi.
They actually give ArtStyle a lot of experience prioritization here. Hitting level 6 at 8 minutes into the game, he rotates. And again, these supports are very important for Na'Vi this game. This is not a game where you can afford to have them fall behind on levels or on farm, because the Death Ward, the Sunray, these are crucial tools to make the Void pick and the Batrider pick work. Void and Bat don't have much damage output on their own. They're very reliant on their teammates to get kills.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Void. We haven't really talked too much about Ditya-Ra, but the fact that he has had this space at down bottom, he's got the Vanguard. He's going to be very hard to kill if you're Secret. I mean, you are relying on the lockdown of, well, either the Slardar being able to close the gap or having Pie around on his Lion. But the Void is going to be a tricky kill. But then at the same time, are you that bothered about killing the Void at this point in the game? You're probably just going to look elsewhere if you're Secret, aren't you?
Yeah, I think you're more worried about him TPing in and rotating with a Chronosphere and winning a team fight. So I think for now, until they get possibly a Finger of Death on... Well, Finger of Death is actually up soon on pieliedie, so that's where Secret can look for their next smoke rotation around that Lion Finger.
Yes.
That can head towards someone like the Batrider of Dendi if you can kill him before his blink. Possibly the Void is also a good target, he's just a much harder target. So if you want to go for the Void, you need to commit possibly 3 heroes. You might be able to get away with 2 heroes plus a Sunstrike.
We'll see. Indeed, what the next bit of play is going to be for the Siders. Actually, looking back to Dendi, I'm sure after that kill on the Invoker that he was involved in, he must be pretty close to that. Yeah, that Blink Gold Dendi, just a couple of hundred away. He's
going to finish these stacks and actually have his Blink Dagger up. So ArtStyle taking the mid lane, and ArtStyle not just levels, but this is a support player who often plays very greedy and gets a lot of farm on heroes like Witch Doctor. So we're going to see him start working on his own economy. They're using scans to actually try and scout Dendi out in his jungle. I really like that play from Secret. Even though they don't see Dendi with the scan, it's something which tells them, hey, Dendi's not there. Why isn't he jungling this camp? Does he have his Blink Dagger yet? And having just got the kill at mid, it's very likely that he's about to hit his Blink Dagger time.
You can see that they're trying to make a go here with this vision that they placed down earlier with the earlier movement, and they're going to find the initiation with the finger, ensuring that they get themselves the kill. Arto a little bit late with the Sunstrike to get himself involved, but nonetheless, it's a pick-off there for Envy and Pi. Now Dendi, as you said, smoking up behind the tier 1, but you can see how well Secret read it. They did scan. They knew that he was no longer farming that area of the map. Maybe they're aware that this is going to happen. We'll see how safe Secret plays.
Possibly a kill on Envy. He's got a Vid booster, so he's very tanky.
Oh, he just walks in, goes for the TP out, and there's the lasso. With the Maledict, the Death Ward, he's going to be able to spin himself away from Maledict and magic damage, and in fact, he gets himself
out. Level 4
out.
Maledict, but he's got healing ward, so...
And yeah, Puppey's there as well to tend to the wounds of Jacket. So yeah, Envy's going to be fine. So there we have it really. The Blink Dagger reveal, it's not as, well, it's not what Na'Vi needed or not what they were looking for. And Secret will be very happy that they now have that confirmed, that the Bat's got it online and they don't lose anyone.
Don't lose anyone. Doesn't set Na'Vi back tremendously. It would have been a great pickup for them. It would have really kind of given them some momentum to move forward, start taking towers and objectives. And speaking of which, there hasn't really been any objective attempts from Na'Vi. That's something which their lineup is going to struggle to do unless they really pull ahead on kills. So heroes like Bat, Void, Mirana as your cores, you're not looking at tower.
Yeah, I mean, because yeah, the Ditya-Ra has been very static on that Void. He is level 8 now. We're yet to see him do anything with the Chronosphere. It's going to be interesting how he plays this game. I mean, what is he waiting for? Is he waiting for a certain level to be hit on, say, kind of the supports until they get to a certain position where he can go for a Chrono, they can throw some spells in, and it will be enough to get some of the kills on the bigger cores? Or is it just that they feel it's preferential to have this farming Void so he can start to pick up the DPS items himself?
Yeah, he's playing the more greedy carry role. He's playing, well, I'd describe it more as reactionary. If there's a tower dive, he will always be TPing in as the most farmed here in the game. He wants to be in any team fight, but Secret's way of dealing with that is to say, okay, let's not team fight because these tier 1 towers still up in mid and bottom. That means the Void is always going to be able to get there. So they don't want to team fight in any scenario where Void can catch him by surprise. And Void's response to there being no team fights is just to farm. So it's kind of like just a bit of a rock, paper, scissors match between the two teams in that sense.
As you can see there as well, they just get themselves laid down another ward. It already allowed them to close the gap and get that kill onto GeneRaL. Maybe it'll happen again for Secret, as they just keep that vision deep over the side of Na'Vi's map. Now with the item timings, just before the 12-minute mark, Arto finished off his Midas. You're looking at Universe, 1500 gold towards the Blink Dagger. Mid lane, Ditya-Ra comes in with the Chrono, locking down onto Envy. They've dropped the Death Ward as well with the Maledict, but he put it in the Chronos. The initial few touches one there. It doesn't matter because they do finally bring down Envy on his Jug. Only just the final touch of the Death Ward bringing him down. But yeah, Na'Vi. This is the classic kind of play for Na'Vi. They keep the ball rolling, they find one kill, they look for a second, and as you said, Dendi finding the positioning, ready to jump in. Now with 2 heroes down, the space is here for Na'Vi to push on, take a tier 1. But yeah, this is the exactly way the way that Na'Vi play. As a team, that you see them grouped up as 5, 13 minutes in, and what's the answer from Secret going to be? They're going to pop the fortification, get Envy back in. He does have an Omni Slash, so Na'Vi will need to be careful and do back off. So unable to take the tier 1, but a couple of high value kills, and and Na'Vi losing nothing off the back of that.
Just such aggressive play. You have a Mirana who's getting involved early on. You've got a Witch Doctor who max Maledict. A Void with a Vanguard, which in a lot of ways, this is an aggressive item more than a farming item because it makes you so tanky that you can come to fights and not worry about getting blown up during the chain disable of a line to at least some extent.
As well as smoke up time for Secret. All
Such
ults
a
online.
classic Envy play. They've scouted it. They scanned it though. They know exactly what's going on.
Oh, this could be a little bit true. We're going to see 40 minutes worth. There's a good ring. Oh, it's double damage bottom. Oh, who's going to grab that? That's going to be fantastic for this Roche fight. But Roche is falling quick with the Amplify. Let's see what Pi can do to hold it off. Ditya-Ra jumps in, looking to take down the line first, but the finger comes out. They've already lost the Witch Doctor. Pi will be taken down in turn. Ditya-Ra, can he play his way around this? He's still got the DD, but he hasn't got a Chrono for 20 seconds, and Roche is already down. Arteezy gets the Aegis. So support for support trade, but Secret getting away with the Roche and getting away with the Aegis. They'll be fine with that one.
A few important things there. They had the Sentry already in place, prepped for the Moonlight Shadow. They also knew that Chronosphere is on cooldown. So Secret go for that, kind of recognizing that unless Na'Vi are there really early on and get a great like Batrider initiation, which is hard. Without the 4-staff, he blinks in, he lassos. If he gets stunned right away, Dendi gets blown up. So without a 4-staff, it's very hard to initiate around that Roche area. And Secret managed to get away with the Aegis. So really nice, bit of a risky play, but it pays off. Yeah,
as you can see there from the Courier, maybe a little bit of a reaction to that play. Sentry's already coming out, so ready for the the next fight around that situation, so they can get the D wards on the sentries that are down. So they've got a bit more space to play around with the Moonlight. So 4-4, 15 minutes in, Secret, with the most recent bit of an edge, thanks to that Roche. What Universe blinking in onto SoNNeikO. There's your Sunstrike from Arteezy. And they'll make that 5 for 4. A nice pick up there from Universe. Does get this reasonable blink timing, and I think a lot of eyes have to be on this Slardar, because Universe, as they were talking about in the panel, he is a man who likes he needs to get his item timings. He has got that this game, and when he does have that, he can single-handedly just destroy a match. So they've got to be very aware of Universe jumping in and making these blink initiations.
Oh yeah, this is like going to be already it's been a great game for Universe and will continue to be so. And that's something which I think Secret, at least Universe, matches up well against Na'Vi because their supports prioritize that mid lane so much. This is a team that Universe will just naturally get more farm and levels against. So we're going to perhaps see Universe thrive a lot more in this series than some of the other series, because during Epicenter he was struggling against all these teams who would tri-lane against him, completely shut him down, and then he's unable to have a mid-game impact. So far so good for Secret offlaner.
Ditya-Ra as well, going for the Oblivion stuff, so I imagine that is going to be the Echo Set.
Yep. Yeah, just picked up the Overclock. Very good stats, and Void's a hero that can sometimes have some slight mana problems with the Chronosphere.
Yep.
Makes him even tankier beyond what he already was, so see where he goes after this, because I imagine that's where the build really becomes open. You've got your Waga Radiance build. I think more likely you see something like a Diffusal type build coming out from Void. Always very good, but there's plenty of item options for a hero like Void.
Seems to both sides as well. No one really looking for the action at the moment. Well, we can see Puppey just continue to pick up levels and farm in the jungle on his edge. He's now level 8, and with the Dragon Lance 600 gold on top, he's certainly getting the way to being quite a rather scary force. And you got to look as well with the kind of the lineup that they've got, the fact that they can have those frontliners like the Jug and the Slardar, just so it's hard for Na'Vi to focus an Enchantress on the back lines, throwing the impetuses in.
Yeah,
certainly happen.
And that's where Puppey's happy just to play this more passive farming game. All 5 Secret heroes at least getting some decent level of farm considering their role. On the Na'Vi side, you've got a Phoenix who's kind of fairly low. ArtStyle doing not bad. The Mirana's getting outfarmed by Slardar. Everyone's kind of being outfarmed by their counterpart on the other team. I guess if we look at the Invoker as the main carry of Secret, but to that extent, I think Secret getting a lot more out of this early game. And it's surprising to say, like, oh, Secret's going to play greedy and get away with it, because Na'Vi's a team who normally punishes greed, but being successful so far.
See down bottom, Dendi. For an opening, the Moonlight Shadow has been used to give him a chance to close this gap, but Secret already on the retreat out. Doesn't matter, Dendi jumps in, grabs out Puppey, the Starfall, the nuke damage. Is it going to be enough to burst this man down? Bringing him back in the Sunray, but it looks like the heal. No, it can't. No, surely not. No, Sunray, of course it won't. Comes through, will take down Puppey.
While top though, Ditya-Ra forced to defensively Chrono just to keep himself alive. I mean, with the slow pace of this game, a Chrono just to save yourself is not too big a deal, although last time we saw a Chrono, Aegis went down. This time we may see Secret, upon Enchantress respawn, go for some towers, because without the Chronos here, it's very difficult for Na'Vi to team fight.
Navi trying to stick around for this last hit on the tower, but Arteezy's going to get the deny, and now they're in a bit of trouble. Artstyle being closed in upon by Universe. Oh, he's going to get deleted there by the side of Secret, so they get the tower deny and a kill as well. Obviously, earlier on, they did deny the tier 1 down on the bottom lane also. So in terms of the overall gold, the progress, it feels like, we talked about this from the draft at the start. Na'Vi, they go for these kind of playmaking heroes, and it feels like they're not in a position that they would have looked to be in, considering what they've drafted against Secret's lineup at this point of the game.
Yeah, Secret's going to hit a Blink Dagger timing on Lion. They're going to have dual Blinks with Slardar already having his. Invoker's just going to probably start tanking up even further, going towards late game items like Aghanim Scepter. Na'Vi just seem to be like always one step behind. Like as far as they're gonna finally get some key levels or an item or two. Like they got the Echo Saber, but they don't have quite enough damage to kill off Secret. And by the time they finish off their next item, they're again going to be like one step behind Secret. So it just feels like there's no easy kills for them to get, and no way for them to ever really pressure Team Secret, at least for the time being. And the other thing is you've got an Aegis for that, it just expired recently, but during that previous 5 minutes, Na'Vi also don't want to take team fights into an Aegis Invoker.
I mean, as you just mentioned, just this timing that Pi's got, and the fact that he's nearly level 11 as well. I mean, it's to the point where some of these heroes have got to be scared of the line, even just on his own. Yeah, it's going to be pretty terrifying.
Lion on his own with a Sunstrike. That's
that's you kill him. I mean,
something over like around 1100 single target damage after reductions, I want to say.
Right, here we go with smoke. It was by that dire ward, so I think they might have caught the edge of that Secret. Let's see, if they can get the wrap around onto Pi, I mean, at the least, maybe they can get a line kill. Immediately, the stun and the blink away. Pi, he was ready for that one. And they're not going to be able to catch him by the looks of it. No, okay, unless Ditya-Ra to commit, Chrono he will. No messing around from Na'Vi. They'll drop the Chronosphere for Pi. And we'll get the kill. Now Dendi, again, looking for more. Grabs Arteezy, bringing him back. They get away with this one. The Supernova coming out. Ditya-Ra closing in. The bash is there on Arteezy. He's falling low. He's going to get bashed again. Is he going to go down? Yes, he's going to be caught out by the Supernova stun. They'll get Arteezy as well in Na'Vi. SoNNeikO flying in. The bounces, the cast. The Maledict's down now with the Death Ward. Pummeling into Puppey. Can Na'Vi find more here? Ditya-Ra caught out. Place out next to the tower. He can't chase for anything more. Puppey will get himself. Is the heal going to be enough? Nah, the heal should be enough. Only just. But Na'Vi there, again, doing what we saw them play earlier, where they get one kill instantly. Dendi's already in position, looking for the next one.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where a lot of times you see your big teamfight ultimate Chronosphere blowing on a solo line, you're like, oh, you're in trouble. But it's that secondary initiation factor of Dendi. He's already chasing, looking for that next pickup. And he barely managed to get the full stuff away after the lasso. If he didn't get that full stuff off to pull Arteezy into the Supernova, that would have been a terrible fight for Na'Vi to commit to. But really get great egg coming out from SoNNeikO and put Secret on the back foot. This is the kind of plays Na'Vi need to be making. Very good smoke usage, and they're kind of continuing to at least apply enough pressure on Secret that they're kind of keeping up on farm right now.
Yeah, I mean, that really is the very, very scary thing. The fact that Na'Vi, even if they don't get, they haven't got the ball rolling as hard as they wanted to in the earlier stages, you can never write off just the combos that these guys have got with these heroes. Just one Chronosphere into Supernova. There's a reason why I can't remember the last game that was let through in a draft. There's so many times teams are very aware of allowing a team to have the Void Phoenix combination. Na'Vi have got it. They've got to be scared of Secret.
Yeah. And it's not like Na'Vi, it's like, well, your carries aren't doing amazingly well. Like, you've got both, well, Bat's not really a carry, but you've got Mirana in the offlane with an Aghanim Scepter now. Yeah, GeneRaL right now is only in 6.3k net worth, but he's going to quickly accelerate and probably will outfarm Dendi probably within the next 8 to 10 minutes. And at that point, you've got kind of this 3-core lineup with a Witch Doctor who also packs a punch. Artstyle has got his Aether Lens, building towards what looks to be an Aghanim Scepter now, so times are looking a lot better for Na'Vi, and I think they've just kind of adjusted their overall game plan to go much more into the late game, recognizing that Secret themselves are playing passive, trying to scale, and just play things slow.
Yeah, I mean, Artur, he's been finding the space. 3-2-1, he's nearly got his own Aghanim Scepter. So at that point, we'll certainly see Arteezy step up what he can throw into the fights. He's already been doing quite a lot anyway for the team. He's been looking for those Sunstrike potentials. At the same time, that's another thing. I mean, you can see Pi with his positioning. He's really looking for kind of the blink, the hex that is set up for the Sunstrike, but Na'Vi, for the time being, aren't giving it to him. Yeah. GeneRaL has come down here.
That's just like such great map awareness.
Yeah, they're just playing
Na'Vi.
it so safe, Na'Vi.
Yeah, no one's even trying to. I say that I'm probably going to curse
yeah,
GeneRaL. He's going to walk up
classic
the farm.
casters curse it.
He didn't farm at the tower, and then now
he comes out. Okay.
Leap, friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey! That was a beautiful stun. I think Pi was a little bit surprised himself that he hit that one, and he's actually going to pay with his life here. He's gone.
Yeah. I mean, you could see Na'Vi actually 5-man TP top, and I think the call from GeneRaL was like, okay, I think this top lane's a trap, but I'm going to go into farm and I'll bait the trap, because like, the fact that he didn't farm at the tower and then he farms the creep wave further away from the tower was like, whoa, that's like, why would you not farm these 10 creeps at your tower, but then push out further? So Na'Vi, very much a calculated risk when they sent GeneRaL there, knowing that they'd counterplay it. But it's Secret on the other side of the map who actually get the better exchange here. They're going to lose a Lion and a Tier 1 tower, but taking Roshan once more, very much favoring the dire side.
Absolutely, we'll take that every time. This time getting the Aegis over onto Envy. So maybe in this game they want to try and go for some pushes here with this Jug. We'll see how much Na'Vi want to put in the pressure on this top lane. It's all being spotted out, though, by the side of Secret. They know exactly what's going on up here. And they're just going to ignore it and avoid it for the time being. Obviously letting Na'Vi get away with that Tier 1, but as you said, they find a favourable trade. And Na'Vi, even, they're not going to stick around for the Tier 2, already retreating back onto their half of the map.
And even with an Aegis, it doesn't seem to me that Secret are going to be able to just group up, go for any kind of big push. It's Na'Vi who have the teamfight advantage with their initiation from Void and Batrider. And Slardar not bad when in terms of initiation, but he puts himself in such jeopardy. Anytime he goes for a Blink Crush, he has to catch either the Void or the Batrider and basically take out one of the counter initiation tools of Na'Vi, but that's the beauty of having two. When you saw the first 4 picks of Na'Vi, it's like, oh, their draft isn't that great, because if Secret ever kill the Void and they initiate on him, the fight's just lost for Na'Vi, but now they've got the Bat, it means they have a way to kind of counteract that. Next move's coming out soon. Envy close to level 16, having that maxed out ultimate does become a bit of a teamfight beast then, but gets still tricky for Secret to take objectives.
Absolutely. Arteezy's just picked up his own Aghanims. As you said, I mean, Envy as well in terms of the gold. He's got about 2.4k gold available. There's a blink now on GeneRaL, so we will be able to see him maybe try and attempt to jump in and help burst down the backliners like Puppey, get himself in for the Starfall and be able to leap away.
It's still unclear what he wants to go for. He saved up 3.2k, so if he wants to go full team fight, goes for an Aghs, but I don't really feel that strongly like an Aghs is the item here. I think he can go for some actual physical damages. He's like the physical damage for the team, so going for a Butterfly, the Radiance build seems perhaps a bit more preferential.
Yeah, I mean, Butterfly was certainly great here, because the question is who builds the MKB? I mean, Arteezy's not going to really want to be getting it on the Invoker ideally. Maybe the Jug picks up one, but at the same time you'd imagine Jackie wants to look for other items first. Oh, we'll see now Secret what they're able to achieve with this one. They're smoked up. Ditya-Ra's got a DD up top, so if they do manage to make themselves round towards the mid, I mean, if you can get a Chrono, get a few slaps in, Ditya-Ra could certainly punch back. But we'll see what kind of opening Secret get here. Around towards the mid, the ping's coming out.
They're very much smoking around this level 3 Omni/timing, but not finding any targets initially.
Straight away, they tried to jump back to the Pi. Pi got the blink out in time, and now the Universe catching out ArtStyle, the Sunstrike as well. ArtStyle being bursted low, but he keeps himself alive. The Supernova coming out. Now Secret are going to be careful. Envy Blade Fury trying to get himself away. Puppey's being dragged back into the Supernova rage, and now the Sunray comes through. Arteezy taking down Puppey as well. They've lost 3. Secret maybe make that 4 as Ditya-Ra and GeneRaL chasing down the Juggernaut. The bashes come through. They'll find one. Can they kill him a second time here? The arrow timing. Oh, it's nothing less than perfect from GeneRaL. Triple kill for Ditya-Ra. And Secret with a smoke that ended up going absolutely disastrously. Just great reactions there from Na'Vi.
Secret even had the sentry on the high ground to see the Moonlight Shadow being used, but Ditya-Ra found the Blink Chrono online. Again, this one hero Chronosphere, but taking out, it's the follow-up damage. He's actually a huge amount of the burst damage. Arteezy doesn't get the best spell landing coming out from his combo. He doesn't actually dish out that much damage in the team fight, and Na'Vi just out-executing Team Secret in that fight. Just great play all around. Everyone just getting full value out of their big ultimates. The Supernova was well placed. Yeah, it's just a one-hero Chrono, but you got it on a very key target.
Absolutely. I think this is kind of just one of the strengths of Na'Vi compared to Secret that a lot of people would have appreciated coming into this. You know, just their team play is incredibly tight. Whereas you look at towards Secret, I mean, yes, they've got the star players, the individual performers, but when it kind of comes to those kind of high-octane situations, it's not surprising to see Na'Vi be able to, as we say, just come out on top.
The synergy still just seems to be a little bit lacking for Team Secret. The early game looked fine, but that's because it was very slow paced. They didn't have to team fight. There were some nice movements from Pi and Puppey, who've been playing together for a long time with their support duo, but now that we're seeing these kind of more mid to late game team fights happen, Secret just don't seem to all be on the same page.
It's going to be interesting to see what Secret do now. I mean, in terms of going for another smoke, maybe they'll hold it off, especially with the fact that they were smoking with an Age. This time they don't have that. So they might fall back into kind of the passive play we saw earlier, just continue to get that farm up on Envy and get more and more space for Arteezy, who's still sitting there. He's behind GeneRaL, Ditya-Ra on the Void, who's sitting at the top of 15,000 net worth on his Faceless Void.
Daedalus pickup, so he's gone for a big single target damage item.
I mean, this is not a Void build we see every day. But then again, we don't see a huge amount of safe lane Void.
Yeah, he's gone for, he's got the extra attack speed from the Echo Saber, so works out quite, it's more damage output than a Butterfly, and it's just like all-out aggression. I think he's just basically decided, I've got 2k HP, I've got a Blink, I've got Time Walk, I'm not going to die.
Z top Pi, maybe seeing if he feels he's got the chance to jump in and burst GeneRaL with a finger and Sunstrike from Arteezy. But if he does try that, Ditya-Ra, of course, is going to be there to potentially react. So Pi's just playing it safe, and GeneRaL knows he can play like this. He knows that he had the backup on Ditya-Ra there. Ditya-Ra backing up, he's going to go down to the bottom. Now GeneRaL is on his own. GeneRaL needs to be a little bit careful up on this top lane. He's coming very far out, and the Universe jumps in, gets the initial crush, and with this amount of lockdown, there's no way the Secret can fluff this one up, and they won't. They'll get the kill onto the Mirana. Yeah, GeneRaL just coming a little bit too far out there on the top lane. Bottom lane, there is a Chronosphere and Arteezy. What's he doing here? He's very much dead. So, I mean, whereas GeneRaL makes one blunder, it's your Invoker, your mid laner for Secret, making the blunder in return.
Our friend on the Twitter comment asked for some Kokonas, but I think we're going to get a different Twitch emote for that death.
Yes. And that was, yeah. Well, Envy needs to be careful as well. He's just coming out to pick the rune.
Na'Vi are all there. That was so well executed. Dendi commits the Force Staff to initiate, pulls the Jug all the way back, and SoNNeikO knows if he Omni Slashes me from the high ground, I just pop my egg. Ditya-Ra's not going to die. He's got Vanguard as well as Time Walk, so every little thing was done well, and also he can't TP out. Dendi held onto his Flame Break, so there was no way to TP out after the Blade Fury. Everything from Na'Vi just being so well synergized within this team.
And a tier 2 as well to boot here. More gold into the bank with the boys on the Radiant. I mean, I guess when it gets to it, because we've got to start to consider it now, because Secret, they only have one tier 2 left. When it comes to high ground defense for the side of Secret, I guess it's still relatively good, but at the same time, I feel that Na'Vi, they've got some great heroes for breaking the high ground and just jumping past the tower, considering the Chronospheres, the Supernovas, where you can just dive in and go, that they could create space to push up to the heights. So it's going to be very interesting to see how well Secret can hold their tier 3s and racks when it does come to it, at the inevitable point of the game that it looks to be moving towards.
Yeah, I think you're totally right that Na'Vi, they may not have the hero to actually right-click down the building quickly, but having these big initiations, like diving past the tower, Na'Vi's specialty is going to be what their lineup can do. Your Void gets farmed enough, put an Aegis on him maybe as well, and he'll just blink past Chrono 1, 2 heroes, even if he only Chronos and kills 1, like it's still an initiation, it still turns it into a 5v4 scenario. In general, he's going to keep on scaling into the late game, has his farming item in the Aghanim Scepter, since then has picked up Travels and Blink Dagger, has overtaken Dendi, and next up is let's catch up to Envy and farm, let's catch up to Arteezy. He's just going to keep on farming more and more as this game goes on.
Yeah, Ray really is impressive, as you said. As I was saying at the start, it's a hero he loves playing, and we can see why he's having a great time at the moment.
Yeah. I don't think Envy's gotten any value out of this Diffusal Blade pickup. With the team fights that have happened, he'd be much better off with going for the Blink Dagger before the Diffusal, and I think that's been a big mistake for Jackie. The team fights have just completely gone backwards.
As well. Kind of playing with this, you said, Na'Vi are a tower diving group of specialists. And then unable to find any vision on anyone. Just headed up for a quick peek into the base of the side of Secret.
Yeah, for Na'Vi, they'll likely at least wait for the next Roche. That's something they probably... They look back on this game and probably say, okay, like that second Roshan especially should not have been given up when we were the ones in control of this game. Let's make sure that we keep the lanes pushed out as much as possible. GeneRaL, he's often, he died last time at this top lane alone, but that's partly because his job right now is to be that kind of expendable hero who solo pushes out top lane, puts himself in a bit of danger, but you have to keep this top lane pushed out to control the Roche area. If you let that top lane keep pressuring your tier 2, after that it starts pressuring on your tier 3, that's when Secret get another Roche.
Envy, I mean, he's playing very perilously here, coming over into the jungle of Na'Vi. He's getting away with it as well for the most part. Na'Vi are around and down here, and they obviously do have a lot of catch. And with this smoke, they're going to be able to use it. Let's see where they're going to head. It looks towards the mid lane, maybe. Maybe seeing if they can try and catch someone out inside the jungle. Yeah, pings onto Arteezy. With this vision that Na'Vi have over the side of the Secret's jungle, they know that he's up and they know that he's around. The question is, can they actually turn? Because you can see that both Universe and Pi are up there if Na'Vi find their way right up to that top lane. But at the same time, there's 4 of Na'Vi, there's only 3 of Secret up there.
Yeah, if you're Secret, you're like, okay, we see them around the top, no one else is on the map. Those 4 heroes can be anywhere.
And here we have it, Arteezy's walked into it and straight away they jump forward. They should have, do they not? Yeah, they do. Okay, here we go. They've got the vision down, they'll take him. They'll find it with a gem on Dendi. It's an easy pick off onto Arteezy once again. Yeah, and the rest of Secret just bailing out of there. They know that they, but Universe and Pi, they can't do anything to save Arteezy. They've got to save themselves.
Just feels like Secret are now in this funk where they're not really trying to stick together. They're just sending out everyone as single heroes to split push. Like pieliedie is going out on his own to get wards up and look for kills with the Blink Dagger initiation plus Sunstrike. You've got Envy just pushing out lanes to farm by himself, trying not to die. Split push.
Oh! That was close. Nearly. A second early and he would have been able to drop the chrono and get that one. But Envy lucky to get away there.
Yeah, Secret are just seemingly lost. This is something that like the old Cloud9 used to have problems with in a lot of Jackie's teams. They get to these late game stages and all they can really do is fall back on this kind of split push style, avoid fights, keep the lanes, like kind of like the Rat Dota type play where you just keep the lanes pushed out, prevent your opponents from ever going for a push because they always have to worry about a side lane. Like what Envy's doing now, he's a top lane pushing this out, knowing that once Na'Vi finish taking Roshan, he wants to make sure they can't just straight go for a push down mid lane. But this doesn't win you the game, it just drags the game out.
And I mean, with that Aegis, do you feel that is going to be what Dendi do? I mean, for the time being, they're going to send GeneRaL up top to push that lane out, but the rest of the 4 of them, they're still mid. I mean, at what point, if you are Na'Vi, do you look to try and push onto the tier 3s?
It'll probably happen quite soon. For GeneRaL, you can see he's firing arrows over the tree.
Oh,
like,
he's hitting
finds
them.
Universe.
I don't know if he can follow this one through. In fact, well, he is. Blinks in, leaps in. He's going for the kill onto Uni. Backup's going to be there as well with the Sunray. Dendi blinking forward, and GeneRaL.
What a player.
General Mirana, boys and girls. General Mirana.
So the game plan for Na'Vi is very much, we want to be able to push high ground, but the only way to do that is to keep this top lane. This top lane is constantly plaguing them, but GeneRaL, as the one to push it out, he just fires an arrow there to scout. He's just like, look, I'm always going to be alone, so let's kind of cover my bases, get some vision, see what's going on, and happens to find Universe. And now the lanes get pushed up. And again, it's not just the bottom, it's the top lane, it's now also the bottom lane. So this is going to continually happen. GeneRaL's going to have to keep TPing back alone. Likely we see GeneRaL get picked off here or there unless he plays it perfectly. But his job is to be the counter pusher. Secret, their overall game plan is to keep these lanes pushed out so Na'Vi can't go high ground.
And as we saw in the top lane there as well, just GeneRaL continuing to do what he did on the side lane. Just, as you said, throwing the arrows out, getting this vision, which is great against the side of Secret, because you look at the way that they've been playing, Pi and Universe, half the game they have been hiding in the trees. That's what these heroes do.
Yep. And unfortunately, once you get to your high ground defense, it's not something you can necessarily rely on.
See how they do look to defend it. Ditya-Ra.
I wonder if they do. Jackie's got a double damage, which is going to wear off. He does not have a TP, by the way.
It's such a hard fight for Secret.
This is classic Jackie Mao. No TP, enemy pushing high ground. He needs to get back, or that he needs to go for the split push at bottom.
Oh my goodness, he does.
Arteezy's also, they're going both heroes down bottom lane, almost as if they're going to try and go for a trade.
I mean, did they just let this fall? I mean, at the moment, it feels like that's what Secret are doing, and Dendi jumps in onto Puppey. He's going to drag him into the rest of his side. Universe gets the crush off onto Ditya-Ra, but GeneRaL jumps in with a burst of the Starfall. The Enchantress is gone. And Na'Vi continue to pound away the tier 3. Arteezy desperately looking to split push here down on the bottom lane. Na'Vi, they don't care for the time being because they're pushing harder. They're onto the racks. There'll be a buyback from Puppey. Envy jumping in with the Onyx Hash. Nice crush as well. Finger onto Dendi. Then he's got SoNNeikO. Gets the chance to get the supernova. Ditya-Ra with a chrono onto 2. Universe has gone Pi as well. Ditya-Ra is going to be able to find Envy as well as the supernova stun comes through. Jackie's dead. Puppey's on his way back to base. This would be a dieback if he goes down, but it looks like he'll be fine. Ditya-Ra hasn't got the punch to fight for Untouchable, but nonetheless, Secret losing 3 bottom lane. Arteezy continuing to try and push forward on this bottom, but he's got to get himself out, and Na'Vi can get away with that.
And if Arteezy gets the melee racks there, I think you're at least okay with it for Team Secret, but he survives him at 250 HP. A great Blink Omni-Slash initiation from Jug. Unfortunately, he got a bit unlucky and he didn't kill the Phoenix before the egg. They do still kill the egg, but it requires a lot of extra time where Enchantress and Jug had to keep attacking that Supernova to bring it down. They buy some time. They did have to use a buyback on Enchantress, one buyback on the Phoenix for Na'Vi. So I like the overall approach to the high ground defense. You can kind of see like the Puppey influence on this team, as well as the EternalEnvy influence, where it's like they've got this great game plan to kind of trade Raxes in these kind of desperate scenarios. These are players in a team that just does so well when they're in these what look like almost lost position to defend your high ground. They find a way to make the best out of a bad situation, but Na'Vi, they cut their losses, they keep their melee Rax alive.
And as we can see, Na'Vi now kitting up ready for that kind of style of play. The fact that Ditya-Ra now with a boost of travel, so someone else is going to be able to head back and join in. E-Blade's now done on GeneRaL. So this man, he can jump in. I mean, he can easily burst down a hero like Puppey. Actually, you've got Universe. Closing in on him. He's actually going to miss the crush. So he has to get himself out.
Having the Ghost Scepters, the E-Blades, is going to help against that Omni-Slash a little bit. That's where the Envy Diffuser Blade will pay off, though we haven't even seen him use a single charge yet. But very much a game that Secret's going to have to play perfectly from here on out.
Pipe, just trying to get some vision out. Ditya-Ra. Let me get caught coming up here, so Secret. Yeah, no one hanging around for the time being. This will all be spotted out by this Warden. The Universe knows it as well, and with this Shadow Blade. Sneaky, sneaky, fishy, fishy. He's off.
Yeah, can't get the kill by any means. Keep vision here, something that has not been dewarded, so see what Na'Vi's next move is going to be with the Aegis expiring very, very soon. They just want to try and take fights, but they know that Secret's going to keep avoiding them. If they show too many heroes in one lane, the other two lanes are going to immediately be TP2 by Arteezy or just ran to by Envy, and they're going to go for split push. So they have to be very careful about how they approach things.
Let's see how heavy they want to go in the spawn lane. Na'Vi, for the moment, once again, GeneRaL just been headed at the top to deal with this push. This starting to come in here from Arteezy. Once again,
and this is the right idea from Na'Vi. Send GeneRaL top, counter push the lane, and then TP and rejoin his team. But when he TPs to rejoin his team, he needs to try and make sure that they are committing to a fight.
Yeah, Arteezy, I want to try and go for a he's got Universe coming in as well. They could certainly go for an attempt onto GeneRaL. He'll throw out the arrow, but it's not going to give him any vision, of course, on this Shadow-Bladed Slardar. And here we have it. Crush into the combo. GeneRaL, can he save himself from this one? Oh my goodness, he has. Because here's the backer from Ditya-Ra coming in with the chrono. The arrow into Artol, and there's just Sunray burning down onto Universe. Na'Vi hitting back hard. The backup is there for GeneRaL, and what looked like an easy kill for Secret. Well, Na'Vi said, no, we play as a team. And they just absolutely crushed Secret in that trade.
This is a team of 5 superstars versus a team. That is what this feels like. Secret just feel like a lot of individual players sometimes working together. Like you've got 2 players trying to work together there, but they're not looking at the big picture of Na'Vi are ready for that. Like they have a response to that play, which just works out so well for them. Envy.
Oh, these cast bounces. A little unlucky here for the side of Na'Vi. If they bounce back over to Envy, maybe. He did have the blade through. Yeah, he will get himself out. Ditya-Ra continuing to chase. Chrono for 50 seconds, but Dendi's there. Oh, Pie tried to dump him, but instantly Ditya-Ra bashes him down, turns towards Envy, takes down a second. ArtStyle with a double kill. And again, I can't remember the last time we saw a good bit of action for Secret this game. It's just been Na'Vi, Na'Vi, Na'Vi for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, and Na'Vi have just completely figured out Secret's approach to the game with the split push, looking for these pickoffs, and every single time Slardar, Lion has gone for a pickoff, Na'Vi are using these boots of travels, they're TPing in, they're backing each other up. They've already prepped. That was something Secret did well in the early game, where they backed up Arteezy, baited Arteezy, and it's Na'Vi's using that exact same strategy
they caught Ditya-Ra, Tornado, EMP in the finger. They found one. Can they find themselves anything more? They need to. Secret, if they want to continue to hold. The buybacks there from Envy. Puppey starting to move forward, but Na'Vi already backing out.
Great burst damage. Didn't let him get off the cheese.
It's hanging around for the high ground. They're going to go in with the Supernova. Envy's going to play Fury, start to punch down on the egg. They should be able to move. Oh, the Chrono's there! Ditya-Ra coming in time. They've already lost 2 Secret. Envy's going to be in a lot of trouble. I gets the on the out, but it might not matter because Puppey falling low. Can they extra anything here? Well, Universe is coming with a 4-man crush, looking onto Ditya-Ra, but that Puppey is in so much trouble here, getting bursted down by all the magical powers of GeneRaL on his Mirana. Universe forcing himself back up. But again, just this play, and in a position where it looked like they were just about to take down the Phoenix second, Ditya-Ra just coming in at the last millisecond with that Chronosphere, and Na'Vi are back in, pushing into the tier 3, ready to break the base, and you just got to ask yourself, how are Secret stopping this?
At this point, their 2 carries don't have buyback. If they try and initiate a fight.
Oh, they're going with a crush, Envy. Looking to close down onto Ditya-Ra. Can they bring down this man? Oh, no!
Whoopsie. Arteezy's lassoed up, and it looks like, okay, a disconnect happened. Dendi managed to blink in, dodge the Slardar crush as Universe initiated, and...
Is Ditya-Ra going to have a chance to time walk?
He's got cheese. He's
yeah?
cold snapped up, but he should be fine to get the cheese off in between bounces, so...
Okay.
Looks like he should be okay. He can just pop the cheese right away if he wants to be really safe. So, looking like the possible end for Secret. If they lose Arteezy here during this lasso, it's all over almost. And that he actually got cold snapped in return. It was a Lotus Orb onto the cold snap.
The Lotus Orb. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, let's see how this plays out. Ditya-Ra's going to be able to cheese himself. See if he's ready to get... Yeah, there we are. Lovely bit of cheese. And with the Death Ward on the sidelines, it's a level 16 Aghanim's Ward. Secret, 3 dead, no buybacks available. GeneRaL coming in, nearly killing Envy in the base there with another beautiful arrow. He's still trying to go for it. He's like, come on.
I got axe.
Oh man, GeneRaL just playing with Secret in the base. At this point, I mean, Secret, they're going to have Puppey back up in 15, but there's no Universe, no Pi for a 45 seconds, 65 respectively, and they're onto the base. Na'Vi, Pi jumping in, it's the Hex off, but Dendi's there, rArtstyle as well. They'll find themselves pieliedie die. Envy's going to go down as well, and GG is called. Na'Vi, 32-11, in a very convincing performance, and a lot of people may be looking to this major, ready to see a Secret, ready to bring something a little bit different than what they have at previous events. And I know it's just one game, gods, but it doesn't feel like they're all there.
Absolutely. This is the same problems we saw at Secret at past tournaments. It looked a little better. I think the early game was a lot stronger from what we've seen at Secret in the past, but that's also because Na'Vi gave them breathing room. I think the early game went as well as it did because Na'Vi showed a different style. I think Na'Vi, more than anything, showed they're not just this one-trick pony that's all about their early to mid-game timings where
just bounces.
Yeah, they didn't actually see the exact smoke, but everyone was grouping up. It was very obvious play. So, Team Empire, they had the same kind of problem in game number 1 of this series, where they just were not able to make the scopes, the smokes really work. Like, if you had like a stat, like how many times did you find a kill after you smoked?
They're too obvious.
Yeah.
They don't do them early enough. This is why I really wanted the Enchantress to have a smoke early. Like, you need to be always scared of the Enchantress, and DK was kind of scared of the Enchantress. Bottom lane certainly was not, and top lane was certainly not. So you only have one hero scared of this like super huge early game Juggernaut, and she just did not quite live up to that expectation.
Looks like OG's going to go for a trade-off. It was actually OG who scanned on top of their own secret shop to try and find like if Empire had rotated heroes around there. But Empire makes it very obvious what they're doing. They bring basically their entire lineup to that top lane. So No-Tail and Fly take care of mid, Miracle and Crit will take care of the bottom lane, and this will probably end up being just 2 tier 2s for a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower trade.
Even if OG did not get this middle tower, I would still say that OG gets a better end of this. Not all T2s are created equal, and this is especially important for heroes that need to farm the Ancient, or more importantly, do that Roche, both of which Lycan kind of needs.
They're just going to go.
Yes.
They're just going to go. You still only got level 1 Necro Book. There's no jump over on the Lion. Moon, however, that was a very quick Hex, a follow-up stun. The Finger of Death's too far away, but Crit. Man, those kicks are right on point. Silencing up all of Empire, but they will burn up the mech. Gives a lot of life back again. But now the jump, Moon, he gets his target. He drags back Miposhka, and damn, they do a lot of damage. And the rest of Empire will bail out of here. Idea seemed good, and then all of a sudden, Spirit.
Oh yeah, when Crit gets 3 or 4-man stun into a 4-man silence, there's you can't do anything about it. You just had to get out of there. Ditch Miposhka.
Just accept your losses. How are we looking overall? Okay, so it's about 3.5k in the net worth advantage for both experience as well as gold.
It's much different than that, though. Like, there's a lot of things that are just not going well for Empire. They don't have any jump. no one can actually just kill anyone. Whereas you have Juggernaut who can solo kill people. Yeah, Batrider who can solo kill people. Earth Spirit can solo kill their supports at this point. But Empire, like Enchantress, has she really done any damage this game? Lion, he's still very far away from his Blink Dagger. SF just pure building
Miracle's got the kill. Omni Slash onto Afterlife, and he's just scratching his head, wondering how this is even possible. He's landed at a moment as kingR slaughtered with a double damage of Miracle. Moon, he doesn't actually have his ultimate available, but it doesn't matter. Miracle burns through him, and in fact, actually the real burning is done by Moon. But look at the 3 sentries. You've got 1, 2, 3. Looking for it, you gotta feel safe, but one observer ward, which was barely out of range of the other 2 sentries, sees the positioning and allows for the kill. And now you may even find another one. Ramses is silenced up. Actually, there's no jump from No Tail, so yeah, Ramses is away.
But the Vision game has been winning OG. This Empire lineup cannot venture outside of their base. Not even for leisurely strolls. Can't take a good look at this nice new scenery.
You take a team which gets listed as I think like Empire are more of the classic CIS team than anybody else, and then you take away their ability to have advantage in team fights. Like you run the Vision game with the coddling game number 1. You always make sure the Night Stalker and the Beastmaster and the ban pulls against Empire. And then Empire come up with this like hybrid push kind of style.
And their best player gets solo killed twice in lane.
Yeah, that was like I still would have. I kind of want to go back into the replay and see how Ramses died the first time around.
Likely just being greedy and not being level 6. I didn't see it, but from the kill that we saw after, you kind of saw the position that he was in.
Yeah,
a lot. That was with the Lion helping him. He still died.
Thanks for a hard life.
It does. Empire can kind of hope to control this ancient area. They do have observer wards set up, but no T2s. That is a big issue. So they, like, every time people have to farm out there, they need multiple heroes to sit there because they can't react quickly enough if they TP their T3s. And, I mean, 5-man on that side of the map, why not? Scandal kind of looking to push out this mid lane, but still, the wards from OG so deep. Let's see where they set up the next round. Fly already one observer at the ready. And Gem up on Batrider.
I don't even want to fight just now. Like, No Tail just burned his Dragon Form so we could take this quad stack. And Empire actually, like, okay, they got an Invis Rune over on kingR, and they're going to force the bottom tier 2. And you got to like it level 3 Necro Book. Like, you want to be able to push and do what they attempted to do before, but not get critted. That's the whole thing.
Or Batrider ult. Batrider ult will also just destroy them. If they don't get an immediate X on him, the dude's just going to die.
This may actually be a really good time to do it. Like, with Dragon Form running out, they do have a 1-minute window. The only problem is Miracle pushing in through that top lane is causing real issues, because now they're gonna, it's a straight tier 2 for tier 2 tower trade at this point. And OG, like, they know no one's defending. They got an observer ward inside the base.
Oh, Miracle doesn't have a TP. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what? He doesn't?
Nope, he doesn't.
Okay, then they go. They most definitely go. This is a tier 3 tower time. You can breathe fire all you want. The mech triggered very early on, trying to keep this creep wave alive. And there's your lasso, hooking up and dragging back Scandal. He's going to go almost instantly into Requiem of Souls. They bring down one. The buyback coming out there from the DK. Fly lets it go. That'll get a revenge kill onto Scandal. Miracle spinning back the rest of the wave here of Team Empire. Maybe coming a little bit too far forward. So is No Tail. That's done from kingR. Lines up for 2, but they don't have the damage output anymore. Ramses is too low. The Flame Break barely out of range of Ramses. And now the rest of Empire, they will actually just TP out. They do significant damage to tier 3 tower, get a buyback on the DK, but that's where it ends.
Juggernaut's getting really large now. He didn't have a TP because he really wanted his Battle Fury, so he bought the component from base, then he went to the side shop, finished it off, bought a TP scroll, and then brought it to himself. But he started TPing pretty much when Moon started his lasso, and it was just a couple of seconds too late, and unfortunately they did have to use a buyback on No Tail, but No Tail has tons of gold. He's rich.
That he is. That he is. But delaying up the Assault Cuirass when you know Empire's just going to come back and do it again. Because it kind of feels like Empire are playing on a clock, even if it's set by themselves. Like if they can get the next Roshan, which spawns up in now a minute and a half, and they're going to be looking a lot better. They've got a fresh armlet over on Ramses, so this Lycan can be a little bit stronger. The BKB is still short here for Scandal, so it's not the greatest thing for him.
Got to worry about this cleaving Juggernaut though. Yeah, Dragon Knight doesn't have his AC completed, but Miracle, he went for the farming Yasha first into the Battle Fury, which is going to be awesome at dealing with the Lycan Wolf and the summons.
They're using Miracle as bait. This is so obvious. The Lycan Wolves now going to have a bit of a walk around. That's why the Obs and Sentry's down from OG. So they see the Wolves having a bit of a run. They get looking towards the pit instead. And Empire actually have real, like, again, this, sorry, OG, Observer and Sentry on the Secret Shop ramp, then another one over on the cliff side.
And one on their high ground, in base.
Yeah, that one's been there for a while now.
But Wolves have expired. OG trying to stay around until Roche spawns, but they're going to be forced back by this impending Empire siege on the left lane.
Yeah, and they're coming back in force too. Crit's there for the kick, at least keeping the creep wave, and in fact, just Crit and Fly take care of that creep wave.
This is time for Empire to go for the Roche.
Well, okay, yeah, with the 3 TP straight back, they're coming.
They definitely should go for Roche, and it's almost going to be perfect timing for Empire to take it out. It's going to respawn maybe as soon as they get there. However, Miracle looking for a solo pick. He might get an Afterlife.
Maybe, but SF Scandal is right around the corner, and now Ramsey going to finally... Did he see? I think he saw Miracle go into the trees. Or no, he didn't. They get a D ward, which is nice. They actually get 3 with just that 1 sentry, 2 sentries and Obs. But they don't know the Juggernaut's there. Miracle is just playing the waiting game. He knows they're around. In comes Moon. Fireflied up, the Invisor's there, Blink Lasso, catches out the line, Miracle moves forward, oh my, he is hard, and again, Crit with the kick into a 3-man zone, and the Magnetize, let it all go all over Empire's face right now. The Requiem Assault are trying to negate a lot of this, and maybe now with Lycan, he can actually do some work. Team Empire, this is the best they've looked so far, but they've still got a double kill on Crit, which they have to worry about. Darkseer is not a healthy man, he went back, and Roshan will not be going the way here of Team Empire. The upside is the Saturn was pushing in the top lanes, the tier 3 tower's taking damage, so Empire get something back and will force a reaction from Moon to defend that top lane. So it looks like OG also will not be getting Roshan.
Yeah, Miracle just does crazy stuff like that sometimes, and he was just there to assassinate the Lion without blowing any significant cooldowns. And who needs a Darkseer? What do you have an Earth Spirit? He hit 3 heroes that were just right next to each other, just perfectly set up for a huge Omni Slash. Juggernaut.
It's the clustering. You go into such a tight choke point. I don't know exactly what that is being drawn down by No-Tell, but it's a whole bunch of like scribbles on basically this line right here. Just around the secret shop. I don't know what he's trying to communicate with that one apart from, hey, this was an okay fight until this point. Damn, Miracle's getting bigger and bigger.
I'm surprised DK hasn't gone for BKB. I talked earlier about how his armor wasn't terribly useful because of Impetus, Lion Finger, Darkseer Ion Shell, you know, these sort of things. And if you're not scared, if your armor isn't going to be very useful, you need, you know,
kingR dead.
immunity. Yeah, he's burning.
Okay, now he's actually no, he stopped. Flame Break takes damage at its best.
Now OG certainly head around the pit. They know Lion is deep in the grave for 40 with buyback off or buyback on cooldown. And this should be Roche for, I don't know who's going to be for. Miracle almost has Scotty, and he has a lot of HP. I don't think he's going to die. Maybe No-Tail, because No-Tail's been taking his fill, but he's not that great with the Aegis because of the way his ultimate works.
You almost kind of want to give it to the most valuable player right now. Give it to the Earth Spirit. He needs to be doing the most. Who you were expecting me to say when I said most valuable player?
Juggernaut.
He really is. He's doing so much work.
And his net worth is...
Yeah.
Also deems him the most valuable player.
16k. It's a 7k overall advantage for OG, but the experience tells a bigger story. 15k in favor of OG. You just don't have anything else on Empire. Like, maybe once they get that Blink Dagger on a Lion, but he's still like a K short of it. BKB on Ramses will make his fight
This
a lot
smoke is
nicer.
super obvious.
Oh, they're gonna scan too. Yeah, there it is. It just flagged it. Multiple pings coming out from Moon. They run inside the pit. Now, there's no vision inside the pit here from OG.
That's why you have a Batrider. Oh, that's way
Like,
too late.
Yeah, Roshan's already done. Empire's got it. They're gonna get out. OG is, however, smoked up, and there's your jump. They find Scandal. They need some kind of counter initiation before Scandal goes down, but the damage from Miracle is just so big, having a double damage rune, but they only burn through the Aegis Immortal. No-Tail taking considerable damage, killing off that Necrobook, and now Scandal lines up the ulti. Fly, letting the ulti go as well. They've already lost 2 of their big cores, and Empire, they're happy to just keep running this one off. You've got 2 huge cores down. Now they just want to pick up a couple of consolation prizes. The main one being that Earth Spirit. He's done so much. The Yule Scepter, TP. Is there a disable this? Nope, they do not have one. You brought down 2 big cores. Only one of them has buyback. You burned the Aegis Immortal, sure, but they're coming into bottom lane.
Wow, I cannot believe they did not go into the pit. Maybe I think OG actually expected Empire to go up their hill, but they don't have any jump. So if they smoke up their hill, they're just going to get wiped because they only have 1 BKB, which ended up actually catching OG really off guard because you don't want to lasso that BKB target with an Aegis. Because he just BKB in the work room immediately after, and Juggernaut did not get his ultimate off. Nice Hex Finger coming out from Lion, and dubious decision making from OG. I think they were also waiting for the chicken to bring them the smoke so that they could get a jump on the Empire.
Yep. It seemed like it a little bit late. Now Fortification's going to come. 8 seconds until Miracle's alive again. And it looks like Empire is very, very uncertain about finishing this job.
No BKB up on Scandal. 5 seconds. Now they should feel a lot more comfortable going up that hill. Necro at the ready.
Yep. So let's see how OG fights this one. Miposhka gets initiated on. Moon up into the Firefly, looking for a target with the back from Afterlife. Causes the issue, but again, crits all over Empire like a hot rash, looking for more as Moon dragging up Ramsey. He's being Omni-Slashed up too. Will there be enough? Miracle will finally move down. Okay, Empire, you thought you had an advantage, but you had nothing. They've lost 3 heroes. They're about to lose 4. kingR does not have a chance of surviving through this one. They're all around him, and there's the spin even from Miracle to ensure it. But it's Fly who kills Secures with the Nova. And that's 4 heroes down. Yes, they've got buybacks. What do they really achieve?
Nice Omni Slash onto the Shadow Fiend, did a lot of damage to him, and nice lasso bringing up Lycan to the land of helplessness. Up on the high ground without a BKB, just burning to death. But Miposhka was oddly out of position though. He was just in there.
This is the moment. Like, I know we talked about this morning, and I'm like I always worry about this with Empire. Like, you get yourself an advantage. Yes, they weren't having a big advantage in this game. Like, you took a good fight against 2 cores. You could have regained more map control, but they just said, you know, we've got to take the racks.
Another DD for Miracle. That's kind of the lineup though. When you have a Lycan, you want to be able to push racks down. You can't man fight the Juggernaut because he has the Battle Fury to deal with your mass summons, which is the majority of your damage output. So they really needed to win that fight on bottom where Miracle TP'd late to secure them a racks. And then once you get that racks, they feel much more comfortable proceeding to the next phase. But now it's that feeling of uneasiness when you have a lineup that should be a racks up and you aren't.
It's the question mark, right? Like, you really need to win the fight, but do you have enough to win the fight?
I think they need to commit for it though. Otherwise, you're going to see BKB on Dragon Knight, which is going to be a huge problem combined with the BKB already out on Moon. They just need 1 or 2 picks from the Batrider to make this game much easier for them. What they pretty much need to do is prevent Empire from getting to the Radiant jungle near the bottom side of the map or like past the river on the top side of the map. That's kind of where Empire should not be. And if they can't be in that area, they can't transition into pushes, even if Empire wins a team fight, which they probably shouldn't just because they're so far behind in terms of gold and just mega farm.
He doesn't see him. The observer board came down too late. Now Empire will actually smoke and move out. The smoke's gonna break. Moon instantly jumps. They find Scandal, the Omni Slash actually isolating up that SF2. Rems comes out. SF will finally go down with a spin. Out from Miracle to find the job as Crit tries to escape out. He's actually backed into a huge wall. They need more stuns, however. They need more damage. Ramsey just forced back out of this one. Fly looks into a perfect Nova position. And that's gonna be Empire retreating back inside their base. I thought with that back, maybe there was a glimpse of hope.
No damage.
Yep.
It's the same thing. They have a lot of setup, but no damage. And Shadow Fiend just got annihilated. This bottle swapping onto the Juggernaut into the late game has proved to be a game winner for OG time and time again, holding that DT until a very key moment.
But then you gotta not only for like You make sure you got it for the whole fight, but even had it for like the force little push in through mid. But they can go for more if they want to. But do they? Your dragon form's wearing off.
Even if you think you might win the fight here, it's not worth when you have 2 gems on you. You do not want to lose those gems. Gem is just an extra security measure going into the late game that the net worth tail doesn't really tell, because Empire, they can't venture outside of the base if they don't have a gem, because they're just, you're going to have that constant feeling of eyes on you. And you need that security that they don't know where you are, so you can actually make moves. And now that they have the Lion Blink, which he picked up before dying on that bottom T3 push, they can actually make and fly. He does have a gem. kingR thinking about jumping him, but everyone's close by.
I just love like how Fly, like a Crystal Mate with 1200 HP, stares down a line as well as an Enchantress, and even though he just used his blink, still decides to attack. Make it seem like he's got the rest of his team behind him.
So I still like this Blink Yules build from Earth Spirit. I think it kind of helps a lot with his most recent weakness, which is the very slow speed of the Boulder Smash. With that, you can just time it with the Yules and you can stun someone very reliably instead of it like, it might hit some people. You need that reliability, for sure, for a hero like Earth Spirit.
Mr. Reliable has been crit this game.
Yeah.
Well, they're waiting for the next opportunity. And is the next opportunity just around Roshan? Or can they force as a 5-man squad? Or do you even worry about it? Like, Empire's going to come to you, right?
All you need to do is make sure they don't have wars up. If Empire doesn't have vision, they will always feel scared, and most of the fights that they're going to take, they'll be at a huge disadvantage because of the position that they're going to be in. And Empire trying to get the jump before OG regroup, one of the most desperate smokes, but mid lane is going to be pushed up that hill, and OG will certainly notice what's going on at this point.
Yeah, this is...
Right now, they're like, okay, we definitely know that they're smoked.
Yeah, this is basically Captain Obvious right now. And, well...
However, Fly is not there, so this could be something that they might win by virtue of it being a 4-on-5.
Maybe. Moon Firefly is up. He's looking for a target. Miracle jumps forward. Okay, they see everything. With Miracle Spin will allow him to get back in range of his own Tier 1 tower.
The Shadow Blade might catch them off guard, too.
Do they even worry about this? Like, your mid lane's still pushing in. Like, Ramses had to come back to defend it. Yeah, Empire just have to back out.
Might be time for OG to smoke themselves.
That's exactly what they do. 5-man move.
Oh, BKB up on Miracle. That's really bad. Now they have no way to stop his damage output. He doesn't need a DD anymore to wreck people in team fights.
Here comes OG. Who can they catch off? Miposhka's probably going to be the easiest target, especially when you walk straight into the middle of OG. They don't commit any abilities at all, apart from Firefly from Moon, but that wasn't looking for him. It was looking for another target. But they have a sentry ward down. Now Moon's going to see this and get rid of it. Blink away. But they don't have the Firefly initiation.
Well, here they go with the healing ward, Siege.
Bring on the kitty.
Yeah, let's hear the Mew.
With Dragon Form up as well, Afterlife. He can blink and try and go for the back, but they're back in the wall. Really doesn't hit anything. Notel walks back into it, making a friend of himself at the moment. But you've already managed to bring down the Lion. The battle with the Omni Slash. Scandal's getting ripped apart right now. Miracle needs one more attack to finish the job. The last two, however, is holding Rams in position, and Miracle will come down to help with the rest of his team. SF had to retreat, and this looks like a secondary Rax. It also looks like the end of hope for Team Empire.
The power of the DK in their lineup too. Notail is like, you can't ignore him. He doesn't do that much damage with the amount of stuns that he puts out. Scandal.
That ulti does practically nothing. With the spin going off from one, the Yules from the other, Notail's getting raised, 4-staffed away. Now he can just armlet toggle his way back to victory as Scandal. He keeps the chase going with the kick. In fact, the pullback did its work, and there it is. The GG call will finally come out. And I don't know who you want to give an MVP to in this game, but I want to say
Moon.
Crit.
Reserve time. Team secrets. Turn to pick. Navi's turn to pick.
Drow Ranger.
Team Secret's turn to pick.
General.
It's interesting as well. We've seen a number of CIS teams running this as well.
Yeah.
Versus Pro Impact run it at Epicenter.
I really like
yes,
this.
that's right.
I really like this. Navi is going to ball up its 5 and go. It's great against Beastmaster, great against Clinks that look for individual pickoffs. They're saying, you know what, we don't care. We don't care about your vision. We don't care about
there's no
your
hiding this. They're basically just saying, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, here we are. Come at us. No, I like it a lot.
I do like it.
And now Secret needs some ability to stop this push, to stop the momentum. You can see a Puck, maybe a Quap out of Secret for our tour.
I like Puck. I always find that Drow Ranger strats are beaten rapidly when you can just burst somebody down and gap close really fast to prevent her from running away.
Right.
So
that's why Lycan is typically
would be
very
good.
good against it as well, but it's not an option in this game.
For what reason?
Because they already have a Clinks.
And Enchantress. Oh yeah, I guess. Okay.
Oh, so that's I believe that's a 4-position Kunkka?
Yeah, it's pretty
I'd be
good.
incredibly surprised if that was a mid Kunkka, but
Yeah.
I believe that's a 4-position Kunkka.
The most important thing about this is that if Navi is doing like a 3-man push and looking for relocate ganks, they can always guarantee the core kill because you just X him, and then when the relocate comes through, you pull him back.
That's very cute.
Are they gonna go for the Tinker last pick on Secret? Do some cheese, the cheesy X rearm everything.
He has been playing a lot.
He has been playing a lot of Tinker.
It's also great at defending pushes.
Mischance versus right-click heroes.
He
could get Ags.
It's decent.
He could
It's
justify
decent
Ags.
against Wind Ranger mid as well.
Is that like is this like one of the? No, it's not the first Kunkka pick of all the majors, right? It's pretty close.
Newbie picks
Newbie
it
picked
sometimes.
it a few times.
Not
Okay.
sure if at a major. Chuan. It's basically Chuan. Every team Chuan's on, he's like, yeah, I'll occasionally do a 4-position Kunkka.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. The ultimate I think is great. It's low cooldown, 60 seconds, so you can just nuke a creep wave and the whole thing dies pretty much.
Yeah.
I think it's a
They
good
banned the Lycan.
option.
I think they should just ban the Tinker. Honestly, you should know that this is an EE Clinks.
Do you think they're gonna take? I feel like they will. They might, right? I feel like they will.
With that said, though, if they got Lycan and Secret won the laning stage by a little bit, the game would just end.
Do you think Secret's gonna
If
win
they
the?
had Lycan.
They have a Drow.
I'm just saying the option is there. Like the split push is more dangerous, definitely, with a Lycan.
And I mean, it's great against Dro, like outside of the laning phase, but Navi picked Dro to secure lanes, and it's you're picking they would have a Lycan Kunkka Beastmaster, and then it's not the strongest lanes.
Come on, give it to me, puppy. Do it, puppy.
Fog the Draft Master. 10 seconds.
It just like instantly when I saw it, that was the first thing I thought of. So
And there's we didn't mention this, but I'm sure you meant it. You can always X the Tinker to throw him in, do dangerous stuff, and pull him back.
pull him back. Yeah.
Are we gonna see the Tinker? I look. What is happening?
There it is, the mid Darkseer, guys. Right on target. Against 4 ranged heroes. Iron Shell's gonna suck this game. It actually does almost
What's
nothing.
happening?
They want a combo for the Kunkka,
that's
Kunkka Darkseer. I mean, it is one of the most massive combos. It's not the hardest to land, I guess.
So
but
it's a 4-position Beastmaster?
Slardar is the last.
they did pick the Slardar. All right, well, got that one right at least. Yeah.
Okay, so Charlie,
I like that.
which way is this second game going based on the draft?
I'm picking Navi.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is out of Secret. This is really weird.
Really weird.
I completely agree. I really like Navi's lineup. They've ran this before. It's comfortable. Secrets is very outside the box. And yeah, Darkseer versus 4 ranged heroes with a draw. Not sure how much Iron Soul is going to have an effect of. So yeah, I personally like Navi.
I figured out it's the Darkseer Clinks dual lane that you encounter in brand new Dota pubs.
So Clinks goes Windwalk first.
Exactly. And you stand there until they die. It's beautiful.
Genius.
I
They'll never see it coming.
They won't.
They'll
They're
never
not
see it
gonna. I think Navi's draft is better, but there is a lot of cool wombo combo that Secret has late game. But I think Navi is a better draft.
Okay, alright. Well, 3 out of 3 suggests that Navi have the better draft. Despite the fact that all of these guys went for Secret for the series, they've all picked Navi to win in Game 2. And if that's the case, they win their opening match in Group B. Let's find out how it goes down with your commentary team, ODPixel and Gods.
Thank you very much, Red Eye, and indeed we're here ready to get ourselves to Game 2 of Navi versus Secret. I'm ODPixel, I'm joined by Gods, and Well, what a game we're going to have on our hands here. Na'Vi pulling out a bit of a drow strat and, well, secret with the Arteezy kingR. And look at this as we fly ourselves into the game map. But, gods, Artor kingRino. I mean, what's the game plan here for Secret? This is looking crazy.
Yeah, this is not a hero I knew he had in his repertoire.
I don't think he knew.
Puppey decided, like, you've got a kingR now. He's got some cosmetics though. I mean, I feel like you don't often pimp out your heroes if you don't play it. So
which sword has he got?
He's got the genuine inverse bayonet.
Oh, that's nice.
It's got 21 kills on it, so
21 kills, guys.
He's got 21 kills on his kingR cosmetic. I am not.
Watch out, boys.
He's probably told Puppey, like, look, I need to add some. My cosmetic game isn't up there. Like, let's get a few more.
He has certainly got the cosmetic swag on. But yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. I mean, Secret pulling out something a little bit different here. Na'Vi, I mean, the drow strat, something that we saw them run a lot of times at Dream League, is something they're very comfortable in. Something they normally tend to do in a series where they are a game up and they want to just give it a shot and see if they can just absolutely walk away with the game. And we're going to see here both of the runes being slightly contended. We'll see a bit more space down on the bottom for the drow to grab a free on top. We'll see if anyone catches anyone. But they've got a crush onto pieliedie and Na'Vi moving in. They're going to find it. First blood for Dendi as they take down Pi on the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, he snuck and took the rune, so doesn't hurt Pi, but it helps Na'Vi. When you're a mid player, can get things going with a first blood early on, already faring himself a salve. This is going to be a very tough mid lane. And for Arteezy, it's a bit of an odd mid choice just because you're against a Wind Ranger with Drow Ranger Aura. I think he's going to get harassed heavily. It's not going to be all that easy. We normally see the SoNNeikO Wisp spending a lot of time in mid lane, but I guess recognizing that bottom lane's going to need help, they know that this is going to be one of those games where Dendi may be more of a solo rather than a dual lane mid.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about the other lanes as well, I mean, the bottom lane, Drow, farming up against the pressure at the Darkseer, you are going to have the back at the regen from SoNNeikO. I mean, you feel that Ditya-Ra should be fine down here, but at the same time, do you see Universe getting quite a bit on the Darkseer?
Yeah, this IO Drow does not have much kill potential onto him, so we'll likely see Universe get, similar to last game, get farm experience and not have to worry too much about the aggression coming out. Aggression, though, can come out of Artstyle. Curious to see where he heads first. He's already made his way towards the top lane where Envy is already nice and low for this prospective kill, but a lot of these big camps, you can see Artstyle does not have a camp by his secret shop, does not have a camp up in this top lane. This is making it a lot more difficult for him to be active early on.
Well, we'll see as well. I mean, at the moment, in terms of the CS in the mid lane, 5 for 1, 4 for 2. It's going fairly evenly, you know, Arteezy with the Stout here, and of course with the early quelling just being able to show, and he can secure this CS. Dendi, I'm in for a bit of harassment, trying to force Arteezy back, but I feel at the moment, with it being 1-1, we can, as you said earlier, just expect to see a pretty static lane here.
Yeah, from the mid lane, absolutely. Artstyle, though, is getting active. The cast will not bounce. And I see Micro splitting his hero and his creep, and for Secret, Puppey's just trying to keep Artstyle out of his jungle. He wants to just farm away with that Iron Talon, but that's something Artstyle is not going to easily allow.
I mean, well, where do you feel that we're going to see the first rotation to come out then?
For Na'Vi, there it's purely Artstyle's Enchantress. He's got the smoke. He's I guess rotating already, so to speak, forcing just the two supports of Secret to play very reactionary. Even Arteezy is being pulled off the mid lane. If you want to bring your mid out of the lane, you've got to find this kill on Artstyle. But for now, he's managed to avoid getting caught out. They kill off the two neutrals, but considering they're committing 3 heroes to this, Artstyle still being pesky, this is overall...
Yeah, Pi is wandering around on incredibly low health here.
Yep. I mean, Artstyle's being a huge pest right now. Pi is just trying to kind of min-max with his low HP. Still has another cast, so he recognizes that he can stay around. If Artstyle grabs a creep, he can always cast it for the easy kill, but this to me is very favorable for Na'Vi with what Artstyle's doing here in the early game.
Well, towards the mid lane as well, we are going to see running towards the top. Oh, with the shackle, Dendi. Just playing. I'm going to have TPs in. Maybe they could try and find something. Yeah, SoNNeikO coming and giving Dendi the boost in general. Slithering in, ready to close down the gap. Arteezy, he's gone.
This is the Na'Vi synergy we saw last game. They give up an IO kill to the tower, which gives some split gold to Secret, but Dendi makes the call, like, or SoNNeikO, they've made this plan, like, as soon as I hit a shackle, TP in, and I'm going to run forward, get the tether slow, which then sets up the Slardar crush. Everything about that, every small little, like, slow or bit of damage was contributed to them getting that kill on Arteezy. This is another kill going Navi's way as Dendi continues to assert his prowess in this mid lane.
Well, again, Arteezy just, as you said, with the torrents coming through, we're going to see in the runes as well what's going to happen top. Beast is going to find himself an arcane puppy. One of the bounty rune will continue to stay. But other than the kind of the movements towards mid, it's still just going to be relatively static. You can see both of the safe laners farming up a treat, 23 for 8 for MV, compared to over on the side of Navi. And just the triple Sage's mask at the moment, just to allow him the ability to just keep those searing arrows available. CS and harassment.
I love how fast-paced ArtStyle plays. He spends a couple minutes being very annoying, zoning the enemy junglers, and then he immediately goes, grabs 2 creeps, and he's on the move to gank mid lane.
Yeah, and look at this again. Dendi setting up with a shackle. And as you wrap around, indeed, as you were saying, Arteezy, he will get the torrent off. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save him, as Dendi and ArtStyle, one more touch from the edge will do it. And another kill onto the kingR in the mid lane, and we are starting to see, you know, that lane get punished, and Dendi, he's going to be able to create a difference and create that lead now in the CS. 22-12 against the 15-4, and the fact that they've taken down Arteezy twice.
And then immediately ArtStyle goes into the enemy jungle looking to take over, has an ensnare into Clap. Puppey could be in trouble with the Drow Aura. They have a lot of right-click damage coming out. It's not quite enough to get past the boars.
I mean, again, the 2 heroes coming back in, looking to ArtStyle. There's a TP across from Universe as well. They really want to do something about this Enchantress in the jungle, and well, with the cast, they're certainly going to have a good shot at it. Maledict down, Axis flying through, he's going to be popped. Secret finally able to do something about the Ench, but you know, ArtStyle, he's already found himself the level 4. I feel like he's just been as annoying as he needed to be, and just kind of drawn so much attention from the side of Secret.
And that just turns this bottom lane into a free farm lane for Ditya-Ra, so in terms of the big picture, that doesn't really hurt Na'Vi. If anything, we just see ArtStyle head right back towards his jungle, pick up a couple of creeps, smoke again towards the mid lane, while Ditya-Ra continues to farm, gets that level 6 precision or marksmanship online, and from there, it's Na'Vi who can start taking towers, really looking for a next couple of ganks and increasing the tempo of this game.
Oh, Puppey. Look at the general. He's hot on the trail, and he's got the vision of it, Puppey. He is in a lot of spot of bother. They will have the boar slow, and that's going to be enough. Puppey, a little bit tankier on the beast. And a crush onto the board, just making sure he gets that juicy golden XP there, the Slardar. 350. What is the plan here for Secret? I mean, you know, they managed to kind of stop ArtStyle from coming into their jungle. But is it going to be a similar playstyle to last game, where they look to constantly keep up the split and try and get that farm on their cores, or is this more role, you know, a draft oriented towards team fighting? And well, again in the mid lane, Arteezy, he will torrent around himself, but GeneRaL walks out, walks back in, and again,
the players
so much hate.
Involved.
Yeah, let's see what he can do, but the crush holds him back already. It's going to allow Dendi to get himself out of harm's way. In fact, they'll turn, they'll look for the shackle. Oh, they're going to get it! Oh, they are going to get it, and back in on Dendi. The wall has been dropped here, but Dendi, he's got the backup of SoNNeikO. Envy getting taken down. Dendi with the kill. I mean, this is, again, looking to be not necessarily the Game 2 turnaround that Secret fans would have hoped for so far.
Yeah, Dendi gets his bottle refilled. He is back to full HP when he was on like 20 HP. You asked about what Secret were going to do. It was very much, okay, you've got this level 7 Clinks. He can get active. He's gone for 3 points in Skeleton Walk, something that Jackie loves to do. So he's got this really high mobility. He grabbed a Death Pact and then wanted to get involved. The other hero that can look to get involved is going to be Puppey when he hits level 6, but that first Clinks rotation, not just failing, but turning into a death on Envy really hurts Secret and gives Na'Vi a very big early game advantage. This is so much damage. Like if you don't get that quick clean kill, and he went for Dendi, problem was GeneRaL was there for the crush, it backfires very quickly because Na'Vi can punish so hard because of the right click damage that the precision aura provides their team. Everyone getting plus 35 damage, and that is something that you just don't have the best answers to.
You got to be careful now. So I mean, Dendi, he's got a DD in the bottle. Before we've seen him being able to get those kills in the mid lane with a +1. This time, if he finds you on his own and hits a shackle, you're dying. 4 points in the shackle. He's going to have the time to beat down onto you with the focus fire. And Envy came in quite aggressive with it. Maybe looking for the courier, but the courier actually making the movement around towards the north, so it wasn't going to be a potential to find the pickoff. Mainly to try and catch out the IO. If he comes back out, he might find the courier on the retreat. Yeah, it looks like war. Oh, he doesn't actually quite get the touch on.
And now they know where he is. Top lane though, GeneRaL's been ganked up and will go down to the first roar of the game. So Puppey gets level 6, throws out a roar. But again, this Clinx's ineffectiveness is very concerning for Secret. This is a risky pick in general with the way that Envy plays it, because he gets so active and will fall. If he doesn't find the kills, he falls behind on farm, and that's exactly what we're seeing here for Jackie. So, and his rotations are being scattered. I love that Na'Vi are so proactive with all the sentry wards.
Look at this with the relocate straight away. Looking for Universe. They don't get the shackle. But that's going to mean that Universe will be able to escape the question, because Secret try and punish this one. SoNNeikO, yeah, he's going to get taken down. Walks into Envy. Envy will find one. If they can find Dendi as well, this will be huge for Secret. They'll get the cast. The Torrent is on point as well. Follow through control is there. Dendi gets a boat to the face. He'll turn around, shackle up Arteezy. He might still be able to get himself out of this one, and he will. So Secret, even though they land the spells, it's not enough to control and take down the win range on Envy. Only just getting himself away, nearly got caught out by the Amplifier. They might have been able to chase that one down and look for another. So Secret, they find the Aya. Just unfortunate for them that they couldn't punish Na'Vi a little bit more heavily for that one.
They got the Na'Vi Courier, so that's, I guess, a bit of a small little boost as far as their overall farm and economy, but it's not the big kill onto Dendi that they would have ideally hoped for.
Dendi just with an illusion. Nothing too big here. We'll just get it. Some of them pushing down on the bottom. Envy. I mean, he does need to continue his farm pace. We see at the moment, because of the momentum of the game, the net worth of the two top heroes for both sides. There's quite, just about 1,000 between it, just under. So certainly a lead here for Na'Vi's cause.
Yeah. And Na'Vi, when they really look to start applying pressure and taking more towers, is going to come with the Slardar Blink Dagger. That's where he can initiate in, and you've got to relocate to back up his initiation. It also just helps you push towers, because you've got that threat of initiation, which their lineup has only from a shackle shot, which is not exactly reliable in a lot of these situations right now. Looks like they caught vision of him.
They did when he came around, and he came out of Invis and was near ArtStyle. ArtStyle spotted him out. Envy's still hanging around. Has been a TP in from the from Drow Ditya, who's going to look to start stacking up these ancients.
What?
What?
Huh?
Is that a visual bug?
I have the same one. Normally when it's a visual bug, you get just on like one spectator, but I've got the same thing.
I mean that.
That's a misclick.
I mean, no, I guess. Is there literally?
That's literally a misclick.
Maybe he wants to build one into Helm and one to Vlad's, and then they stack. The ideas. Oh, well, that one onto Dendi, he's gone. Secret, they're finding, can they find themselves anything more here? They're surging Arteezy forward. Yeah. He's still working on that one, Gods. I mean, you're the analyst. What's going on there? Come on, there must be something really smart that we just can't.
I'm just shrugging my shoulders here.
I mean, is this the ultimate BM victory, defeating Secret with 2 Morbid Masks?
Could be.
Could be.
That's making a statement. That was like the Dagon 5 Cure Invoker back in the day. Or the Febby Wisp, where he just had like 3 bit boosters to start stacking items that you don't normally see. But yeah, I imagine this is probably just a misclick coming out from Ditya-Ra. Meant to probably buy the Helm of the Dominator, and accidentally bought one component twice.
I think this is the first time we've ever seen any hero go for this build in competitive.
This is a Dota 2 first. I don't think he's going to be setting the meta game.
Imagine if it has 100% win rate as well.
Yeah.
We'll start seeing it in all the pubs. Double Morbid Mask build. I mean, well, at the moment, it's not looking terrible for Na'Vi. They do lose it. They do, of course, just lose a little bit in the mid lane there. And Envy still trying to find a bit of action around the map. He keeps making these movements, seeing what he can get. But Na'Vi playing relatively safe, keeping grouped up. But, I mean, 13 minutes in, it's a little bit more of a controlled start here for Secret, it certainly feels, than compared to Game 1. But at the same time, 30 minutes into Game 1, it wasn't looking terrible for them. It was about, let's say, the 18-20 minute mark, where suddenly we're seeing these kind of full-on engagements where Na'Vi were coming out on top.
And one of the really cool strategic things about the kingR pick that we saw a little bit out there in the mid lane is you can't actually rely on SoNNeikO's relocate saves if the hero is X, because you relocate them out, the X will immediately pull them back in. And that's something that SoNNeikO, more than most IO players, is really well known for, is just making those clutch saves onto Dendi or Ditya-Ra in the front line. So it's a kind of cool pick to see in the hands of Arteezy for that reason, but it's Na'Vi who are about to get their snowball train choo-chooing along now with the Aegis pickup. they can start looking to take objectives. They push very quickly with their lineup.
Radiant's top tower.
And straight away with the Aegis, I mean, it'll be interesting if they do look to try and fight. You've got 3 towards the bottom. I mean, while space is there for Darkseer Universe, he's closing in on the mechanism. So just, yeah, he's literally going to have it ready for the next defense.
And the teamfighter secret's scary. You look at Vacuum into kingR, Ghost Ship plus Torrent, not to mention having the mech advantage as well, so...
And we've seen as well, Ditya-Ra has sold his second Morbid Mask. Okay. So, I mean, regardless though, he's still sitting, of course, second on the net worth, but... the mistake has been hidden. He's probably hoping that no one saw it. We did Ditya-Ra. Don't worry. Well, they're jumping in onto Envy. They've got the Amplify. They've got the damage. Well, if they bring Dendi, and they certainly have, and Envy getting taken down. And I guess this is one of the strengths of just running the IO against Klinks. It makes it so hard for the Klinks to find this kind of action across the map aggressively, because half the time the IO is going to be there, bringing in an extra hero to save the chosen target of Envy.
And just a clever smoke from Na'Vi, knowing they can just make that rotation through the instant the smoke pops, you use the dust, you find them, and you get those kills. So Na'Vi, on recognizing that they're going to find a kill on top lane, they TP in the rest of their team, bring Ditya-Ra, they're going to start taking the tier 1 tower, but Secret already with a counter play in mind at the bottom lane, have got Puppey pushing away.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, it's obviously not the same extent that we saw in game 1, but as you said, it's just that play where Secret aren't really grouping up and looking to respond as a full 5-man. And the times that they did in game 1, it didn't go well.
Yeah. And it's been a great game from Puppey so far. He's the most farmed Secret hero, impressively. And he's not just farming away, he's been involved in kills.
Look at this as well. So they take the tier 1 top, GeneRaL's going to head back. It's questionable of how much he can do, because the rest of Na'Vi is still pushing in on the top lane. And yeah, GeneRaL's just realizing that this may be not the place to fight. Backs up.
I think it was actually a really questionable TP from him, but Secret just didn't jump on him in time. Like, he managed to just sprint away from the roar of Puppey. Could have been a very dangerous situation to be in. And Puppey almost with a Crimson Guard complete. We're seeing a very different itemization on Puppey, but this is a guy who often, like, even when you're playing heroes like Enigma, would go for this Crimson Guard build. We'd see pipes on him more so than other players who go for like your classic BKB. So he's very willing to get those more team-oriented items you need. And against a right-click lineup with Precision Aura, Crimson Guard, a fantastic item to have.
Envy. Look at his positioning as well. If they spot this man out, he has got to be very careful. And yeah, he's making a hasty retreat back to his half of the map. So Na'Vi won't catch him this time, but they were very much hot on the trail, and it's just proving to be a game where Envy's got to be so careful with his positioning, because Na'Vi will be there to punish it.
And for now, he's managed to at least create space for the greedy Beastmaster jungle, as well as the Darkseer that can farm towards
look at
his
top with the relocate. They have caught Envy out. The Amplify's down, and he's gone nearly very close to taking down SoNNeikO in response, but it isn't going to be the case. They get away with another kill onto the Klinks. Na'Vi just continuously finding the action that they need, and the fact that you just look at the difference between Ditya-Ra and Envy, and it's 2k net worth now. Dendi, oh, isn't going to get the shackle onto a hero. Well, he'll take a boar or two. If he gets the second one, that's going to be pretty nice. Yep, phases in, takes that. I mean, 2 boars, it's nothing to laugh at. It's not bad at all there for the golden XP for this Wind Ranger. And all eyes really on Arteezy to see what he's going to be able to do. We're yet to really see the big plays come out. We saw him hit a Torrent boat combo towards the bottom. It didn't end up in a kill on Dendi. I guess you're going to have the Tidebringer to help you with the defense when the pushes start to come in a little bit heavier from Na'Vi.
And this game's really going to test like where Secret stand right now. Last game they pushed themselves in a direction where they're going to split push. They don't want to do that this game. Yeah, Envy can do so in his Klinks, but the rest of the team, the Darkseer kingR, they've drafted much more towards team fighting. They're itemizing towards team fighting with the Crimson Guard on Puppey as well.
And they've caught Envy again. Straight up. He's trying to run. That's all he can do. He certainly can't hide. And this man should be nothing less than a dead one as GeneRaL. He's got a blink available. Jumps up. One more touch to the Klinks and he's gone. GeneRaL and the boys finding yet another. And I think it's the sentry there on the high ground pretty much spotted Klinks as he came down.
With
so they knew he was round.
Too.
Yeah.
And that's something you see teams like the really kind of proactive teams do, and you can do it more so in your head because it does cost you quite a bit of gold. Is planting sentries with observer wards, less to deward and more to scout the Klinks roaming around. You want to do this on top of having something like a gem because it means that you're always going to be able to read Klinks' movement and find those kills. So Na'Vi gonna find themselves another outer tower here. Ditya-Ra, Dragonlance, Yasha.
I was going to say, look at GeneRaL, he was maybe eyeing up jumping in, and he's going to get punished here by the combination of spells from Artor. They're moving as well. The IO is not going to be enough to save the Slardar. Now with the wall drop, this could be Secret turning this one around. They're looking for ArtStyle, but he's already got the heals up. Ditya-Ra trying to run away from Puppey. I'll see if they do manage to find a Drought as well. They need this Secret, and they will get it. A second kill for Secret there on the defense, so this time, for what seems to be the first time in this whole series, Na'Vi making a bit of a blunder, and Secret are there to punish it, and end up coming out of that one with 2 high-value kills.
Yeah, Secret's teamfight just really showing its strength there, and you find that initial pickoff on the key target in the Slardar. He's the teamfight specialist as far as Na'Vi's draft is concerned, and with him out of the equation, Secret can just chase on and kill more. The Aegis had expired as well, so Na'Vi really just overstayed their welcome there. The other big thing is just having that Crimson Guard there as well. Like if you're Na'Vi, as soon as they saw that Crimson Guard on Heroes, they're like, oh, we can't actually win this fight at all. We're so reliant on right-click damage, and this Crimson Guard is going to negate the majority of that.
I mean, if you are Na'Vi and just considering that item pickup, I mean, how do you play against that? Do you, because of the draft and the playstyle that you've obviously intended to go for, do you still have to continue to look for those fights, even though you know they're going to be harder, or do you think we can expect to see some of the members of Na'Vi just waiting until they get kind of the next big item before they start to look for these pushes again?
They've really got to kind of brainstorm how they're going to play around the X initiation, because traditionally, like, Na'Vi aren't worried about one of their cores getting initiated on because they always have the relocate save, but that's not available with SoNNeikO being unable to relocate out an X target. So that's where I think Na'Vi are going to have to adjust, have their cores perhaps prioritize earlier BKBs just so they don't die to the X initiation. Then the BKBs act as the counter to it.
The Found Envy as well. The silence into the crush, Amplify, and he melts.
Deja vu all over again with poor Jackie.
He is certainly falling down the ranks, and as we can see now at a point where, you know, the Slardar pretty much on the same net worth level as this Klinx at this point, and with the relocate top, the action is not stopping for Na'Vi. They'll jump in onto Puppey, he'll get the raw onto SoNNeikO. The Crimson Guard doing a fair bit, and it might just keep it alive, and all with the combo from Secret, they're turning it here. They take down SoNNeikO, they take down Dendi. We're just going to get anything more. Looks like GeneRaL, Ditya-Ra, and ArtStyle will be able to escape. But we are seeing the wombo from Secret can certainly punch back hard. They do still end up losing 2. But as we can see from the golden XP, because of the position they were in, any kill that they can get is a good one. So an even trade is going to be a good trade for Secret.
This Crimson, like, Puppey's are actually just a Dota genius. When you see like the item like coming into effect there, that focus fire from Windranger, it felt like his HP bar wasn't moving while he was being focus fired.
Without that Crimson Guard, Secret would have lost the last 2 team fights, essentially lost 2 more towers, and it would have been in a very tricky position. But yeah, that item.
On top of that, he has a Vlad's for more armor. Normally, you see like a Beastmaster, and you were told like, oh, he's not going Necrobook. You'd be like, what is he thinking? Like, what kind of Beastmaster doesn't get Necrobook? But exactly what Puppey's done, and it's worked out fantastic.
And see Envy at the moment again coming across aggressively on the map, just getting a bit of intel for the side. The rest of Secret are moving in. And around towards the bottom, coming into the jungle, Puppey, smoked up. The backup's there from Pi. We'll see what they can do. They have got a Roar, no Death Ward at the moment. They'll see if they can try and burst down ArtStyle. Nonetheless, it's, with the help of Arteezy, they certainly can. Death Ward finally coming back off cooldown. Pi will drop it to secure the kill. So the smoke is successful. And we are starting to see kind of a bit of a glimmer of hope here from Secret as they are finding the favorable plays. And are starting to put Na'Vi back in their place. And this is something that's got to be scary if you are Na'Vi, because you are running a Drow lineup. You really can't afford for the game pace to slow down and the opponent to start to find this kind of action that Secret are getting.
Yeah, I think their window's not closed quite yet, but it's going to quickly approach that point if they're not careful, and if they keep on losing fights like this. So Envy working towards his Death Slayer is going to find a lot of these Na'Vi heroes here. And with the Sentry Ward there, he knows he's safe. Whoa, relocate bottom though.
Absolutely, because they're on the bottom lane. GeneRaL TP'd back earlier, got the jump in onto the Puppey. And Crimson Guard not going to save you this time. SoNNeikO,
just don't bring Dendi back yet.
I was going to say, this man does not get out of this one. The 4 members of Secret sticking around to watch the ball get beaten down.
That was like, I think, sheer luck that they happened to be going for a kill with relocate as Envy found them. Like, Envy was ready to just what, probably 4-shot the IO, maybe a little bit, maybe needs a 5th with the mech. And he relocates himself and his buddy out right as Envy was about to set up some nice kills. So
I believe you've got Gem now on General though. So Envy's life is certainly going to get a lot harder. He's got to be a lot more careful. And Roshan is back up. We saw earlier how quick Na'Vi could take it down. And already starting to play the idea. Then he's making his way back over. So they should be able to have a good shot at this. The question is, can Secret get there in time to contest? They do have the Torrent, the boat, other things to throw in, but it looks like they're not going to make their way over. And with the Amplify, with Dendi there as well, they're going to make short work of this one. Arteezy, he X-marked himself, walked halfway out, and then disappeared. Don't know what he was trying to do there, but it didn't work. And Na'Vi get away with that one.
yeah, Puppey was just respawning a bit too late to get there in time, and map vision was completely gone. Secret actually put 2 wards in the enemy jungle almost to set up for that second Roshan, because they recognize, like, okay, we've got this strong team fight. Na'Vi can't just go for Roshan against us if we have vision and if we have Beastmaster alive. Problem was, vision got dewarded, Beastmaster died, and then Na'Vi find themselves able to take that second Rosh. Very important for Na'Vi overall with their game plan and strategy that they do this.
And again coming through the junk. He might actually find the courier. Does he want to go for this? He could
no
pay
TP
with his
though.
life, yeah.
If he does, it's very likely a kill on him.
And he's getting there towards his destiny. He has the Mithril, and Blight's only he just needs, what, there, 900 or so more for the second one, and he'll have that done. Because, I mean, at this point, you saw him eyeing up SoNNeikO on the eye, but even that's a questionable kill, because SoNNeikO, he's got a mech done. It's not going to be an easy one.
And he'll get away from the Slardar gank thanks to a scan, and this gem is going to be the key tool for Na'Vi moving forward, but very hard to push high ground against the Darkseid Kunkka, not something I think Na'Vi really have on their mind even during this Aegis, perhaps. They likely need to just get more in terms of itemization towards the BKBs, Wind Ranger now with an Aghanim Scepter. Slardar has the Blink Force. They're going to try to find some pickups. I like the idea of like trying to initiate, get a pickoff, and then Secret aren't going to look to try and teamfight if they've already lost.
And this is good as well, because SoNNeikO, he is ready to bring Dendi in, and he will, just to make sure they've got the damage to deal with. Arteezy Universe is there with the vacuum, the wall. Arteezy already dead. He does get the bow down. It's not going to connect. There'll be a roar from Puppey coming out onto ArtStyle. SoNNeikO trying to get himself out with the urn as well, but Envy is there to close them off. Will take down the IO. It's a 1-for-1 trade at the moment. Now Envy looking for the chase down onto Dendi. Yeah, it's nice. Not going to be a kill that he's getting. Dendi blinks out, keeps himself alive, so just a 1-for-1. But again, SoNNeikO giving his life. They get the kill onto Arteezy. Walls also drop for that from Secret, so Na'Vi will be happy, and they're not done. They're looking for more. Jumping straight in onto Pi with the crush. General needs a bit more backup, and it is on its way. Dendi's there, throws out the shackle, Ghost Scepter. It doesn't matter. They'll just wait it out. He's been silenced up. No escape for the Witch Doctors. ArtStyle sits on the sideline, chucked in the impetus. Wall drops to the vacuum. Envy starts to reveal himself, looking for ArtStyle, but they just turn, pound back into the clings. All the greens keeping Envy alive. Envy still goes down to the procs there from the lightning. So they do find him. Ditya-Ra, he goes down, but he had the Aegis. He's back. So again, more dying on Secret. Envy dying yet again. I mean, I kind of lost count at how many times we've lost the Clinks, but it's got to be a lot this game.
I think it's a mistake there for Secret to re-engage with Vacuum. I imagine the call is like, okay, Vacuum's back up. I can hit 4 in a Vacuum, but what's the follow-up to the Vacuum was purely the Clinks right click. Yeah. So they're fighting and re-engaging into a Ditya-Ra Ranger who has Aegis. At best, all they got was the Enchantress. That was definitely not a worthwhile exchange for them, I feel. The Aegis getting taken out, kind of nice. There was still only just 2 minutes left on it. And also, this was not really an Aegis where Na'Vi were threatening to push high ground. If you take a trade like a carry like a Clinks for an Aegis when you're in danger of losing your high ground, yeah, that's kind of nice. But Na'Vi are kind of at that stage where they want to try to find pickoffs and fights and still work on their itemization.
Arteezy. I mean, this is one thing that he will be able to do, especially when the heat starts to step up. Just X marks himself and get out and push the waves away.
Yeah, so Dendi's got Ogre Club. Will be going for the other BKB on the team. I imagine even General Slardar will be heading that direction. Envy's like, yeah, physical damage, but he's just not farmed enough where he's a big threat. The Desolator's online, but you really need more than this as far as DPS goes to really concern the side of Na'Vi when they're BKB'd up. And it almost feels like he's going to have to go for a defensive item after this Desolator.
Yeah, definitely. because as we saw then, you know, he did, well, to be fair to him, he was trying to stand and fight against like 3-4 members of Na'Vi being back into him, but yeah, he just needs to have a little bit more survivability, because unlike the side Na'Vi, you know, he hasn't got that hero like SoNNeikO on the IO to kind of help with the save. At the most, they've just got the auras, you know, Universe coming in close, has the Greaves. I mean, yeah, if they can get a nice boat as well over the top of the side of Secret at the start of the fight, the Rum can certainly help out. You know, with the Crimson Guard and the reduction for the duration of the Rum, that certainly does add up and maybe gives Secret the durability to kind of take, you know, the longer fights and come out on top against Na'Vi.
And I think that's where Na'Vi are gearing up more towards the late game. Yeah, you typically look at draft strats and you think, oh, they want to at least be threatening high ground around 30 minutes, and if the game goes 40, 45 minutes, you've maybe lost. But this feels a bit different because Secret have itemized, not all in on the early game, but very much they're not going to scale as well, like with a Beastmaster going for a Vlad's Crimson Guard. We're not seeing Puppey, now a Blink Dagger, so he doesn't have that Necrobook, isn't going into that late game refresher build. We're not going to see the scary late game Beastmaster. These items are always going to be good, but they're not items you want on your most farmed hero, or one of your most farmed heroes. And on the side of Secret, your two most farmed heroes, it's Beastmaster and Darkseer. Neither of these are carries who are dishing out damage in the late game. That's perhaps the slight concern as well. What is good for them is that they've got 4 very farmed heroes. On the side of Na'Vi, it's just really 2.
And as we see, Ditya-Ra's gold, as you said, talking about how farm the carries are, it's just continue to rack up. He's 3-1-2. 12k. Dendi, of course, certainly feeling like the man of the match this time round. His shackles have been incredible. He's 7-2-6. It's, yeah, they've certainly got the high performers at the moment on Na'Vi. The question is, how well can Secret drag this one out? Continue to maintain these defenses. They are 30 minutes in. They're still holding on to 2 tier 2s as well. So it's certainly a much better position for Secret to be in this game compared to what we saw in game 1. Now, there definitely still is every potential for them to take this game. They just got to be very, very careful around this portion and make sure that they don't give anything more to Na'Vi, because if Na'Vi find a kill, they'll almost certainly, as we've seen, just each and every time just accelerate it into 2, into 3, then suddenly they're pushing down your lanes.
And this was the stage of the game where like Secret really fell apart with all their split push last game, so already that seems they're taking a much different approach, and part of it is their lineup, of course, where they want to be grouped up more with the Darkseer kingR, but I think also they recognize their faults from game number 1 and will play a much more kind of team-oriented style of play, and you've got to do that against this SoNNeikO IO. When there's that threat of relocate in, you can't have heroes off by themselves. You have to always have the backup and the numbers advantage, or you're going to get relocated on, and fights will not go well for you.
Na'Vi are going to group up and start to push down the top lane. At the same time, Secret going for a similar play down bottom. Tier 2s on the menu for both sides, and klinx will take the touch into that one. Envy finding the gold. Top lane Na'Vi, they should be able to get away with finishing this one off. The question is, who's going to react to who first? Na'Vi still moving forward on this top lane. Secret, they're starting to scatter down on the bottom, so I'm sure they'll come back for this one. We'll see how much Na'Vi can try and get away with. Arteezy just coming in, clearing out the way with the Tidebringer, and this is, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of an issue for Na'Vi trying to push in at this stage of the game, and already we can see they just back off. They retreat off. Na'Vi, they know it's going to be hard to push against Secret's lineup.
Yeah, the high ground defense is not just the big teamfight one-mode combo, it's a kingR who can clear the wave without risking his own life because of the X marks the spot, so Na'Vi, if they want to be able to counterplay that, they need to go into a Yule Scepter, or possibly even multiple Yule Scepters as the kind of way to prevent kingR just charging in forward, but even that doesn't feel like the best long-term plan. I think some of the key items that we need to see is going to be the Ghost Scepter on SoNNeikO's IO. So many of these fights, he's just getting right-clicked down by the klinx as well as other heroes, and having a Ghost Scepter can really make his life a lot easier.
Roshan not quite up yet, and GeneRaL tries to link it onto Puppey, but Puppey's reactions are on point, and Envy from the high ground. He's actually trying to fight into this one, but there's a hell of a lot of Na'Vi here, and Envy's gone. The vacuum wall will be dropped, but SoNNeikO and Dendi, they just walk it off. ArtStyle as well, stopping Puppey from being able to follow up. And Envy just caught out of place, and Secret, they've got to be careful and make sure that this doesn't get any messier, as they're just on the retreat at the moment. Dendi, he's going to find Pi as well. And I hate to say it, but this feels very reminiscent of some of the fights we saw Secret try and take in game 1.
And it's crazy to see Envy have such a bad game on klinx. This is one of his signature heroes. You go back to like some of his first games as a pro player, MLG Columbus, it's the klinx where he took down like the all-star team DK. Here, in Secret, down 1-0, they give him Clinks, and he is just looking awful in this game. He's had a terrible showing, he's being picked off. He started that fight when, Puppey, as soon as he blinks backwards, you shouldn't be engaging, because it means your Beastmaster can't back you up, he doesn't have that blink initiation. Universe was on the way, but he wasn't even close to Envy when he went in there, so it was a big mistake from Envy to try and follow up and take that fight there. So Na'Vi off of that, get a couple of kills, take Roshan, and pull ahead once again. So
yeah, and this is the cheese as well. Cheese on Dendi, Aegis on Ditya-Ra. Shadowblade now picked up from GeneRaL. So a lot of big things coming out, and yeah, with that they've caught out Arteezy. And
oh, that damage!
It's absolutely brutal.
Yeah,
I mean,
when the damage reduction isn't there, there's no boat, there's
where's
no
your Crimson Guard now? Where's your puppy, Artur?
Yeah.
He's over there. I mean, Secret, at this point, I mean, it may just be up to them kind of playing for the long game. You know, they do kind of have to go for these splits. They do need to hold from the base, but as we saw, just actively looking for fights down the map, especially at this timing when there's an Aegis and Cheese on Na'Vi. I'll be very surprised if we see Secret try and go for a play like that again. This Grieve's now done on SoNNeikO. 4.5k on Ditya-Ra. I mean, it's just so many things going the way of Na'Vi right now.
I'm confident that if Secret get the right initiation and like everything synergizes well in a team fight, they actually win a team fight into Aegis and Cheese, but we haven't seen that from Secret. At this tournament, at previous tournaments, they're yet to kind of figure out that team synergy, and that's really the biggest problem that we're seeing out of them, because this is the stage of the game where if you get that nice Darkseer vacuum wall off with a Kunkka follow-up, you have Beastmaster isolating a hero with a Blink Roar as well, you're going to win team fights. You're not actually that worried about your opponents having Aegis.
Look at the smoke up from Na'Vi. They might just catch out Envy again. Envy's coming around. They get vision, no GeneRaL. He's already got eyes onto Arteezy. He's going to go in straight for a crush right in front of Secret. The shackle shot will be there. The Greaves and the Crimson Guard coming out now with a vacuum, trying to slow down the aggression of Na'Vi, but then he pops the BKB, continues to try and move forward onto Arteezy. He's not going to find it. They just turn towards Envy, take down the Clinks instead, and now with the impetus flying through onto pieliedie, forcing him back. Na'Vi now getting the space to move up onto the tier 3. With Envy dead for a minute, I mean, do you just let this go, or may we see him buy back here?
Next vacuum, they've got vacuum in 5 seconds, which is when they may reinitiate. But it seems like they are going to at least let the tier 3 go down.
Well, now onto the racks, and of course the pushing power from Na'Vi, incredibly strong. Torn onto Artstyle, GeneRaL on the back line, jumps straight onto pieliedie. They should vacuum all onto 2, but the follow-up just isn't there for the time being. Artstyle, he'll survive through it. They'll take down the melee racks. Now Arteezy again looking for the Torrent follow through. GeneRaL and Artstyle being held close together there by the paralyzing cast. Arteezy coming forward. Next points himself back out. GeneRaL will get taken down by the Deathward Pie. Gets the Ghost Scepter out in time. They're going to continue to chase this one Na'Vi. They should find it, and they will. A double kill for Dendi, as his Wind Ranger performance is just ripping through the side. And now a second set of racks going down. Puppey jumps forward. Ditya-Ra gets the BKB off, and now he just turns, pushes Puppey back with the guts. Puppey's going to get taken down as well. It's a triple kill for Dendi. 2 dead on Secret now without buyback. This is looking to be potentially the end of the road here for Secret in this first series. They will be knocked down to the lower stages of this GSL format of the groups, and there we have it. GG is called. Dendi gets a rampage, and
what a fitting way
I
to
mean,
end
what?
it.
Yeah. I mean, Dendi this game on his Wind Ranger. I really feel that at the moment in the scene, he's one of the players that can still bring Wind Ranger back to where she used to be. You know, there was that kind of meta where Wind Ranger would destroy games. Na'Vi and Dendi showing that it still can be there.